Chapter 1403. Yu Yu's Nethermoon Qin Yun is flying towards Luo Tian City. Suddenly, he heard a burst of intense explosion coming from behind him. He turned his head and saw all kinds of thunder and lightning and golden light flickering in the distant sky. Ling Yuner shouted in alarm. Those immortal kings who captured you earlier are attacking Azure Dragon. They are really daring. Azure Dragon's strength is definitely not weak. Those immortal kings must think that they are from Sacred Desolate and have sacred tier equipment in their hands. That's why they dare to attack Azure Dragon. Qin Yun is secretly rejoicing. If Azure Dragon did not suddenly pull out a sun-suppressing divine arrow, those immortal kings from Sacred Desolate would have definitely pestered him. Xiao Yun, quickly leave this place and go to Luo Tian City. Ling Yuner said, Azure Dragon should be able to pester those guys for some time. Qin Yun flew towards Luo Tian City at very fast speed. Although Luo Tian Immortal Emperor is not in Luo Tian City, he is near the sun-suppressing divine arrow. If immortal kings from Sacred Desolate caused trouble in Luo Tian City, they would definitely alarm Luo Tian Immortal Emperor. Therefore, Luo Tian City is relatively safe for Qin Yun. On the way to Luo Tian City, Qin Yun took out the Devil Mirror and looked at all kinds of news. He discovered to his amazement that Azure Dragon's strength is very dreadful. Many people are very astonished because those immortal kings who attacked Azure Dragon have many powerful sacred tier equipment in their hands. Qin Yun contacted Xian Rujing and asked, Sister Rujing, did you see Azure Dragon fight those immortal kings? I saw them. Those guys were sneaking around us earlier. They have very strong sacred tier equipment in their hands. They should be from Sacred Desolate. Xian Rujing said, Xiao Yun, you should quickly leave. Dao Yang Divine Sect has truly sent people over. Moreover, they are very strong immortal kings. Are those guys from Sacred Desolate? Or Divine Desolate? Qin Yun asked. They should be from Sacred Desolate. They borrowed the sun altar of other 9 sun sects to teleport here. You better go to Luo Tian City and hide. Those guys are quite apprehensive about immortal desolate powers. Xian Rujing said, Yang Shuriwei has already returned to Guanghan Palace. Otherwise, Qin Yun would be able to communicate with Yu through her. Sister Rujing, can I have a few words with Yu? Qin Yun said, the main reason I came here is to see her. Your relationship with Yu is very good. Xian Rujing is somewhat surprised. Let me talk to her. Qin Yun said, it should be convenient now, right? All right. She is nearby. I will go find her. Xian Rujing spoke and flew towards Yu. Not long after, Qin Yun heard an ice-cold voice coming from the magic mirror. It is Yu. Who are you? Yu does not know that it is Qin Yun, but Xian Rujing said that someone wants to speak with her. I am Qin Yun. Do you still remember me? Qin Yun said. When Yu heard Qin Yun's voice, she felt somewhat surprised. After a moment of silence, she said, How could I forget you? Bastard. Not necessarily, right? You must have forgotten me some time ago. Qin Yun smiled and said, I really hope you can forget me forever. Your hopes are dashed. From now on, I will never forget you again. Yu coldly groaned and said, Why are you looking for me? I want to see you. Qin Yun said, There are some things I want to discuss with you face to face. Have you recovered Immortal King Fu Yun's memories? Yu asked. No. Qin Yun sighed. Are you willing to see me? Where are you? Yu directly asked. I am in Luo Tian City. Earlier, I was almost killed by those immortal kings from Sacred Desolate. I want to go to Luo Tian City to take refuge. Is it convenient for you to come over? If you can't leave, I can wait a bit longer. Qin Yun said. I will go over immediately. Yu said. Qin Yun did not expect that Yu would be so anxious to see him. Moreover, Yu directly took away Xian Rujing's magic mirror and asked for Qin Yun's location. Although Qin Yun has been flying, Yu is an immortal emperor. Her speed is very fast, and she can arrive very quickly. Originally, Qin Yun planned to meet Yu in Luo Tian City. But now that Yu has arrived, he can meet her in advance. Qin Yun landed on the top of a short mountain and took out the floating cloud pagoda. Then he told Yu the shape of the mountain, and also told her that there's a tall building that looks like a square pillar. Because Yu is coming, Qinyan doesn't need to be afraid of those immortal kings from Sacred Desolate. Not long after, Yu landed outside the first floor of the floating cloud pagoda. After Qinyan opened the door, he saw a woman wearing a black robe and a white mask. This woman has white hair, and her entire body is emitting a faint cold aura. "Come in." Qinyan smiled. Yu walked in. Her body overflowed with a faint fragrance. She took off her mask and revealed a face as beautiful as Yang Shiyue's. Her complexion is slightly pale and filled with a cold expression. Although her eyes are beautiful, they are filled with ruthlessness and cold arrogance. Yang Shiyue's previous life, Yu and Yu are twin sisters. Both of them say that they are older sisters, so it is unknown who is older. "Hello," Qinyan said with a smile. "Last time, in the remote Moon Mountain range, I was attacked by the devil immortal Great Emperor's shadow slave. It was you who saved me. Otherwise, I might not have been able to return to the immortal desolate." Yu's tone is flat as she said, "Originally, I promised Yu that I would bring you back from the remote Moon Mountain range. But I didn't do it, so she must have blamed me back then. Yu, I also don't know if I will awaken the memories of my previous life in the future. However, I hope that you can be like Big Sister Yang and the others. Temporarily don't think of me and immortal King Fu Yun as the same person." Qinyan said, "If I really thought of you as immortal King Fu Yun, you might have already been beaten to the ground by me." Yu chuckled coldly. "Yu, although I haven't awakened the memories of my previous life, according to the clues I left behind in my previous life, I understood that I did not intentionally trap you in the remote Moon Mountain range for so many years. I mainly wanted you to obtain that mysterious nether moon and cultivate the nether moon sacred body." Qinyan let out a long sigh. Who knew that after being trapped for so many years, you would not obtain the nether moon? It is not that Yu has never thought of such a thing, but when she thought of how she was trapped for so many years and left the immortal desolate for so long, she felt very angry in her heart. TCH, Yu seems to already know that immortal King Fu Yun was truly thinking for her sake back then. If she could obtain the nether moon, the resentment in her heart might not be so great. Qinyan said with a smile, "It's not that I'm laughing at you, but you're really useless. You haven't obtained the nether moon for so long. You're very awesome. Why don't you go and get the nether moon? If you really get the nether moon, I'll do whatever you want me to do." Yu said with a sneer. "Really?" Qinyan chuckled. "Of course it's true. Yu, have spent so many years, but I still can't subdue the nether moon. You definitely can't do it." Yu crossed her arms over her chest and said with a look of disdain. Qinyan laughed and then released his nether moon. After the nether moon was released, it is not very big. However, it can be seen that it is a small black moon. Yu looked at the nether moon and immediately widened her eyes. She is speechless. She is the most knowledgeable in this aspect. With a glance, she can tell that this is not a nether moon spirit formed from mental cultivation, but a genuine nether moon. Yu reached out her hand and touched it. She is even more certain that this is the nether moon. "Yu, fine. You're awesome." Yu gritted her teeth and stamped her feet. She faintly sighed. "I'll do what I say." "What do you want me to do?" "Quickly say it. Turn your back to me and take off your clothes." Qinyan said. "Yu rogue." Yu cursed loudly but did not take off her clothes. Qinyan said with a smile, "I knew you wouldn't take it off." Yu really wanted to kill Qinyan with a palm strike, but she can only turn around and take off her outer white robe. Then she slowly took off her upper clothes, revealing her jade white back. "Let go of your hair," Qinyan said again. "What are you doing? I'm an immortal emperor, and you're just a Xian immortal. The difference in strength between us is too great. You better not act recklessly. If you do that kind of thing, you'll only be injured. I'm not trying to scare you." Although Yu's back is facing Qinyan, she is still very embarrassed. She also let go of her white hair to her chest. Qinyan took out the floating cloud divine needle and began carving runes on Yu's back. "What are you doing? Is it the power of blood spirit? Are you going to make a contract with me?" Yu hurriedly asked. I'm carving the Nethermoon totem on your back. Qin Yin said, my previous life left me a letter. It said that if you is too stupid and can't obtain the Nethermoon, I'll have to refine a Nethermoon for you. Yu's delicate body trembled. She said in disbelief, Nethermoon can be refined? Then why didn't you refine one for me in your previous life? Because of some reasons in my previous life, I was unable to refine one. But I can now, Qin Yin said with a smile. Let's put it this way, I now have the Moon Lady inscription spirit, and I also have another moon, so I can refine it. Of course, the specific process is very complicated. I still need more time to carry it out. Qin Yin carved the Nethermoon totem very quickly. The Moon Lady inscription spirit and totem inscription spirit played a great role, allowing him to carve very high degree of finesse. Yu, don't move around carelessly. Otherwise, it will affect the finesse. If nothing unexpected happens, the totem I carve for you will reach the 12th level of finesse. Qin Yin said with a smile. This is only the first step. Wait until you are familiar with the Nethermoon totem. Then I'll refine a Nethermoon for you, and you'll be able to quickly fuse with it. Although Yu's back is facing Qin Yin, she can sense that Qin Yin is very excited. She groaned and said, You bastard, you are just like your previous life, so fanatical about things like inscription. To be honest, I also want to see how strong you will become after fusing with the Nethermoon spirit. Maybe you will be as strong as those two great emperors. Qin Yin said with a smile. That's for sure. Those two bastards didn't cultivate Saint Tyr's soul, but I did. Now, I only lack a sacred body. Yu thought about it and became somewhat excited. She asked, When will you be able to refine the Nethermoon? I don't know. I need to gather materials. If you help, it should be a lot faster. Qin Yin said. Suddenly, a rumbling sound came from outside. The floating cloud pagoda has been attacked. What's going on? Yu promptly asked. It should be the immortal kings of the sacred desolate. They came to capture me, Qin Yin said. Chapter 1404. The mystery of the archery way you sensed the ferocious attacks outside, and said with a frown, this life is the same as your previous life. You always provoke all kinds of powerful enemies. Yu, how did you and I meet in our previous life? Qin Yin asked. He is rather curious about his relationship with Yu. I was deceived by your flowery words and became your coolie. Later on, you framed me and then besieged me. Finally, I was sealed in the Nethermoon desolate domain. Yu lightly groaned and said, You are truly a jinx. You wasted so much of my time. Otherwise, I would have already entered the sacred wasteland when I am already at the great emperor level. Yu's talent is extremely good. Back then, she used a very short period of time to become an immortal king. Adding her beauty, she was very famous in the immortal desolate back then. Recalling the past, Yu is still very angry. She grumbled, Do you know, back then, many cats and dogs were much weaker than me. But now, they're all immortal emperors, the same level as me. How infuriating. Yu, maybe it's a good thing that you did not enter the sacred desolate? Qin Yin said with a smile. Otherwise, you wouldn't have met Rujing and you wouldn't have seen the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Also, if you obtain the Nethermoon, it will be of great help to you in the future. It was my good fortune to have met Rujing. She helped me a lot. She was once the ice and snow goddess, and now she is stranded in the immortal desolate. It is truly a pity. Yu said, Both she and I want the sun-suppressing divine arrow. We only need one. That way, our moon palace will be able to possess even greater power. Is the sun-suppressing divine arrow really that important? Qin Yin only knew that the sun-suppressing divine arrow contained a sun totem. Furthermore, it hid the 9 Desolates' greatest secret. Of course it's important. Not only is the sun-suppressing divine arrow a very strong weapon, it also hides a very big secret inside. If I can obtain it and decipher the secret inside, I can obtain very strong power. Yu picked up her clothes and covered her chest. She is worried that Qin Yin will suddenly run to the front to see her. Now there are only 3. I also want to take one. Qin Yin said, You can destroy a sun altar you might really have a way to get the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Yu's heart stirred, and she said, Qin Yun, after I go out and kill those guys, I'll take you to the vicinity of the sun-suppressing divine arrow to take a look. Are the devil immortal great emperor and immortal desolate great emperor nearby? Qin Yun asked. They're all here, but don't worry, they won't dare to attack me. Back then, it was these two groups of people who destroyed the Guanghan Palace. But now is different. Their strength is no longer enough to kill me. Yu said, I heard from Yuji that your previous life was killed by these two fellows. Really? Qin Yun also vaguely guessed that only these two great emperors could kill him in his previous life. Don't worry. Just wear a mask when the time comes. Don't let them see you. Yu stroked the white hair on her chest and asked, When can you help me carve the Nethermoon totem? Do you need 8 or 10 days? No need. It will be done very quickly, in about an hour. Qin Yun said with a smile. How could he be so fast? That is the Nethermoon totem. Your cultivation is not high, but your inscription technique is even stronger than your previous lives. Yu is very astonished. Qin Yun smiled and did not speak. He continued carving the Nethermoon totem, and the trembling outside continued for a moment before finally stopping. Qin Yun, hurry up and come out. If you don't cooperate with us obediently, just wait until we destroy this broken stone building of yours. You'll have a good time. The people outside shouted. We were entrusted by the Sun God sect to come and capture you. You're just a little upper immortal. Don't struggle. Even if you can hide once, you won't be able to hide a second time or a third time. Think about it. You will spend your entire life running for your life. What's the point of that? Cooperate with us and come back with us. I guarantee that you won't be killed. At most, you will be imprisoned. Since you can destroy the sun altar, it means that you have a certain level of strength. You might even be fancied by the Dao Yang divine sect and be accepted as a disciple. When the few immortal kings outside fought with Azure Dragon, many of their sacred tools were damaged, and they are temporarily unusable. They are also very puzzled. They originally thought that after coming to the immortal desolate from the sacred desolate, they could rely on sacred tools and sacred body and sacred spirit to walk unhindered in the immortal desolate. When they saw Azure Dragon obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they thought that they could easily snatch it, so they decisively attacked. They never expected that they would be taught a lesson by the Azure Dragon. Yu said with sneer, These idiots, they actually use such words to deceive you. In your previous life, you specialized in deceiving people. If you had 70% of your previous life's power, you would definitely be able to deceive those guys to death. My previous life was really awesome, Qin Yun said with a smile. Isn't that so? If you didn't have some ability, you wouldn't have been able to deceive so many immortal desolate beauties to sell their lives for you. Yu looked around and said, What's going on with this stone building? Its defense is actually so powerful. Did you refine it? Give me one too. No, I picked it up, Qin Yun said. Don't try to deceive me. How can it be so easy to pick up such a powerful thing? Yu said with a look of disbelief. Where did you get it? I really picked it up. Qin Yun has no other choice but to tell you about how he obtained the floating cloud pagoda. You bastard. How can your luck be so good? Yu said with great jealousy. You seem to have a sun soul, right? Did you rely on the sun soul to tear down the sun altar? The sun soul is the 9-sun divine hammer. Because the sun fell, it needs to absorb the core fragment to awaken. Qin Yun smiled. Yu, I owed you in my previous life, but I know in this life that I will definitely make it up to you. When I have enough strength in the future, I will help you refine this kind of defensive building. You don't need to make it up to me. Later on, I thought about it carefully. Back then, I followed you for so long, and it seems like I didn't suffer any losses. I still got a lot of benefits from you. Yu sighed softly. Although you were a bastard, you still have a bottom line. Not long after, Qin Yun finished carving the Nethermoon totem. So fast. Yu closed her eyes. She can feel the Nethermoon totem on her back fusing in her body bit by bit. It must be known that this Nethermoon totem has been evolved by Mo. It is an immortal tier Nethermoon totem. My mental power should increase by a lot because of this. Looks like I have to find time to go into seclusion in the future and properly familiarize myself with the nether moon totem. I can also ask Yu how to cultivate. Yu Yu's mood became a lot better. Her expression is no longer that ice cold. She turned her back to Qin Yun and put on her clothes. After she finished putting on her clothes, she turned around and looked at Qin Yun. She smoothed the straight, white hair hanging on her chest behind her back. Her beautiful eyes are filled with warmth as she asked, "I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll do what I say. Just now you carved the totem for me, so it doesn't count. You still have a chance now." Yu is wearing a dress under her black robe, but her tall and slender figure can still be seen. Her curves are extremely beautiful and alluring. "Do you want to F*** me? If you have the guts, come at me. My cultivation is higher than yours. When the time comes, don't blame me if I torment you to death." Yu saw Qin Yun's eyes looking up and down her delicate body and then puffed out her chest. Her beautiful eyes are filled with confidence as she said, "I knew you wouldn't dare. You're just like a bird in your previous life." You and Big Sister Yang are twins. Which one of you is the big sister?" Qin Yun suddenly asked. "I'm the big sister. I'm older than her." "What? Did she tell you that she's the big sister? That damn girl. How many times has she said that I'm older than her?" Yu cursed in low voice. "From today onwards, you are the little sister." Qin Yun faintly smiled. "You're not allowed to fight with Yu over being the big sister." You bastard, come at me." Yu is somewhat angry and said with sneer, "Come. I'm not interested in you." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "I don't believe it." Yu's face is filled with disdain. She really wants to kick Qin Yun to death. He actually has no interest in her at all. Boom! The immortal kings outside began attacking the floating cloud pagoda again. "These bastards, I want to pinch them to death." Yu spoke and took out a long black staff. At the top of the staff is a crescent moon. "Open the door, let me go out and kill them." Yu walked to the door and said with murderous intent. After Qin Yun opened the door, he saw a few white-robed old men outside. When they saw a cold and elegant white-haired beauty standing at the door, they immediately became anxious and angry. "Qin Yun, you bastard, you are actually having fun inside. You made us fight outside for so long." An old man cursed angrily. "Old donkey from Sacred Desolate, what kind of filthy things are you thinking about in your head?" Yu walked out and waved her staff. The black crescent moon at the top of the staff suddenly surged with black gas, giving rise to a cold gale. A black light beam fiercely shot towards the old man's head. "Ah!" The old man screamed miserably and immediately started bleeding from his 7 orifices. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. This is Yu's mental power attack. She's an immortal emperor. An old man shouted in alarm. "Quickly run." "Run?" Yu raised her staff high, and a black energy barrier suddenly descended from the sky. After the energy barrier descended, the few old men collided with it and immediately screamed miserably again and again. Their bodies were penetrated by a cold mental power and strange immortal power. It is very painful. "Kill!" An old man took out a golden sword and was about to stab. Yu suddenly transformed into a burst of cold wind and arrived behind the old man in a flash. Her staff struck towards the old man's head. The crescent moon at the top of the staff is a very sharp scimitar. It cut open the old man's head. With your level of sacred body, you still want to dominate the immortal desolate? Courting death. Yu dealt with these immortal kings like crushing ants. After a few rounds, those immortal kings were all killed by her, and they died very miserably. What caused Qin Yun to be shocked is that after Yu killed those few old men, she stored their corpses. It is unknown what she wants to do. Wear the mask. I'll take you to the vicinity of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. If you help me get a sun-suppressing divine arrow, I won't treat you unfairly. Yu's ice-cold eyes suddenly flashed with a trace of charm. Don't seduce me. I won't fall for it. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I'll help you get the sun-suppressing divine arrow. You help me quickly become stronger. Your Guanghan Palace has a moon god mountain. There should be many good things on it. Chapter 1405. Sensing Yang Heart Yue took out a white mask and a black robe, handed them a Qin Yun, and said, "Same as mine. Those immortal kings were killed. Will they be fine?" Qin Yun asked, "I'm worried that they have accomplices nearby. As long as it's not an immortal emperor, I'm not afraid of them. Even if the immortal emperors come, I can still hold them off for a period of time, enough for you to escape." After Yu saw that Qin Yun was dressed, she pulled Qin Yun and soared into the sky. She quickly flew towards the direction of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. There were only 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows left. Xie Karu, Qin Long, the 9 Extinction Sect Master, the Netherworld Emperor, the young mystic immortal of the Long family, and Azure Dragon each took one. Qin Yun is being pulled by Yu to quickly fly. The little black donkey suddenly contacted him. He quickly took out the magic mirror and asked, "Little Black, where are you?" "I'll go with Big Brother Green Dragon." "Little Mortal, I know the secret to obtaining this sun-suppressing arrow." The black donkey laughed. "All right, did you run far? Don't go back, or you'll be killed by those immortal kings." "What's the secret?" asked Qin Yun hurriedly. "It's to sense the heart of the sun. As long as you're in the 9 wastelands, you'll be able to sense the heart of the sun. After successfully sensing it and obtaining the recognition of the sun's core, you'll be able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow." The little black donkey said, "In any case, I'm done. I'll follow Brother Green Dragon to a secret place now. In order to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, you have to complete a mission." After Qin Yun heard this, he thought of Xie and Qin Long. They have their own things to do. "Little Mortal, we'll meet again if fate wills it. I'm going to have some fun with Big Brother Azure Dragon." "Huh?" the black donkey said smugly. Qin Yun put away the magic mirror. His face is solemn. He used mental power to communicate with the little black donkey. Yu, who was beside him, did not hear it. "What's wrong?" Yu saw that Qin Yun is lost in thought and immediately slowed down and asked, "A friend just told me about the secret to obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Qin Yun said, "Didn't an Azure Dragon appear before? That friend of mine knows Azure Dragon and is now with Azure Dragon." "What secret technique?" Yu hastily stopped and floated in the sky. "Sense the sun's core and obtain its recognition. Then you can go and take the sun-suppressing divine arrow." After Qin Yun finished speaking, he shook his head and said, "I also don't know how to sense the sun's core, but this was a direction. Also, in order to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, you have to complete a mysterious mission. Let's head over first." Yu pulled Qin Yun and continued flying quickly. She said, "You have a sun spirit. You must have obtained the sun's recognition. You must have a way to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Yu placed all her hopes of obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow on Qin Yun. Qin Yun nodded and said, "I will try my best. If you can obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, Guanghan Palace will not face any threat, and Yuelon and the others will be even safer." "Yuelon? What is your relationship with Yuelon? This little girl doesn't hate you?" "Back then, you harmed her beautiful master to the point where her life and death is unknown." Yu said, "Yuelon is my wife. She doesn't hate me anymore. And after she reincarnated, we've known each other since we were young." Soon after, he told Yu about some of the things he and Xiao Yuelon experienced. After Yu finished listening, she lightly groaned and said, "You bastard, in this life, you still have an unbreakable entanglement with a woman from your previous life. Moreover, they are both from my Guanghan Palace. What kind of relationship do you have with the Guanghan Palace? In your previous life and this life, you have such a close relationship with our Guanghan Palace. I also want to know." Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. "Forget it. As long as we can live, the truth will eventually come to light. Now focus on the sun-suppressing divine arrow. If we can obtain it, we can be at peace for a period of time. Even if immortal emperor-level people from Sacred Desolate come, we don't need to be afraid of them." Yu tightly held Qin Yun's wrist and said, "The matter of you destroying the altar is very big. Those big powers will definitely want to capture you. You must not expose your identity so casually." Although Yu is flying with Qin Yun, her speed is still very fast. Not long after, they arrived at a large flatland. Originally, there were many mountains here, but because several battles broke out, it became a flatland. In this flatland, there are many different kinds of mansions, large and small pavilions and houses. These are all immortal tools for houses. They are all powerful immortal tools that experts carry with them. They can be used to cultivate inside, and they also have very strong defensive power. Yu Yu's house is a black semicircular building. It is several tens of meters wide. It is also a rather special building here. Qin Yun walked closer and realized that it is a very large spherical building. Half of it is buried underground. Who are the people? Qin Yun asked. Just me and Rujing. Yu Yu arrived in front of the semicircular building, opened a door, and led Qin Yun in. After entering, Qin Yun saw Xian Rujing wearing white and blue tight-fitting clothes. Her hair is tied up in a ponytail. Her appearance is delicate and charming, but there is also a bit of heroic spirit. The tight-fitting clothes outline her fiery hot body. Even though she is completely covered up, it gives people a kind of special temptation. After Qin Yun entered, he took off his mask and said with a smile, "Goddess Rujing, I finally meet you." Bastard. Xian Rujing grinded her jade teeth. Her eyes are filled with warning. She is worried that Qin Yun would tell you about her forceful kiss and dragon claw hand. I did not expect your relationship to be so good. Xian Rujing saw you bring Qin Yun back and laughed. Rujing, it seems like your relationship with this bastard is also not bad. Yu said, "Of course it is. I was forcefully kissed by him." Qin Yun said, "What nonsense are you talking about?" Xian Rujing shouted, promptly walked over and stepped on Qin Yun's foot. Qin Yun promptly dodged and said with mischievous smile, "Goddess Rujing, do you still want to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow?" Yu poked Qin Yun's waist and said with low groan, "Don't provoke Rujing. She is ice and snow goddess. If I can recover my divine power, I will definitely turn this brat into a snowman." Xian Rujing gnashed her teeth in anger. "Then I won't help you obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Goodbye." Qin Yun turned around to leave. "Little brother Xiao Yun, don't." Xian Rujing promptly walked over and pulled Qin Yun's hand. She pouted coquettishly and said, "Why do you always make me angry? Would you die if you don't mention those things? Who told you to call me bastard the moment we met? It was clearly you who forcefully kissed me and even bit me a few times." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, all right, I know I was wrong." Xian Rujing gently caressed Qin Yun's handsome face. Her beautiful eyes are slightly narrowed. They are filled with dense charm as she spoke in a delicate voice. Yu is also secretly amazed looking at this. She did not expect that the relationship between Qin Yun and this ice and snow goddess would be this good. Although there are some contradictions, it gives people a kind of intimacy. Qin Yun sat on a very soft chair in the living room and said with a smile, "Goddess Rujing, can you help me find a relatively stronger god? I am very anxious to cooperate with God and obtain even more good things. I can only find Star God." Xian Rujing curled her lips and said, "Star God is a very lascivious woman. I am worried that you will be led astray by her." "It's fine." Qin Yun laughed. "You said, Star God? Our Guanghan Palace's new disciple Yu Shutian is the Star Fairy Princess. She even brought an altar with her. Wait until we get the sun-suppressing divine arrow." Xian Rujing also knows that Qin Yun must worship a reliable god. That way he can obtain great amount of resources. Yu took out a devil mirror, handed it over to Xian Rujing, and said, "I will return this thing to you. Rujing, you must be careful. This devil mirror can lock onto your position and steal all kind of information." "I know." Xian Rujing stored the devil mirror and said again, "Immortal Mirror Emperor's chief disciple just came over and said that the devil mirrors we ordered have already been refined. Let him come over first. As long as there is no problem with the devil mirrors, it will be fine." Yu said, "But it would be best to make a deal with Immortal Mirror Emperor." Xian Rujing nodded her head and ran out. Qin Yun also put on his mask at this time. Not long after, she led a few middle-aged men and walked in. These middle-aged men are wearing white long gown. There are runes on their clothes, and there is a mirror on their back. This is the uniform of Devil Mirror disciples. After they came in, they did not greet you. Each and every one of them stood there with arrogant expression. The 100 demonic mirrors you ordered have already been refined. There won't be any problem, but they are very expensive. 50 million immortal jade beads for one. Total is 5 billion immortal jade beads. The middle-aged man said, "Such a big deal. Let a mortal mirror emperor come. He is nearby." Yu said in cold voice. "Why didn't he come himself? This batch of devil mirrors was refined by us. Of course we are the ones to make the deal. Sect Master also doesn't have time to come. What's more, it's only a few billion immortal jade beads. This is just a small deal." The middle-aged man proudly smiled. "I, Han Yuping, am the chief disciple of Devil Mirror disciples. Although I just became an immortal king, I have refined devil mirrors for many years. Even other immortal emperors have to be polite to me when they see me." Qinyan suddenly recalled that the information about Yu Zuoquan and others was deleted from the Devil Mirror. It is highly likely that Han Yuping received some benefits from a mortal emperor to you. Then go back and let a mortal mirror emperor come over. I want to make a deal with him. Yu said with sneer. Your Guanghan palace ordered so many devil mirrors. Don't tell me you don't want them. Believe it or not, I will immediately report this matter to the Devil Mirror and let a mortal desolate know that you are all unreasonable women. Han Yuping furiously said, "So many people in a mortal desolate use normal devil mirrors. Only you are so picky. Now you still think that devil mirrors are expensive. If you have the guts, don't use them." Xian Rujing burst into loud laughter and said, "Earlier it was a mortal mirror emperor who came to talk to us and asked us to use their devil mirrors. He also said that if we don't use them, many people in a mortal desolate will suspect that there is a problem with the devil mirrors. He also promised to specially refine them for us. There is no problem with the devil mirrors. You're just too paranoid." Han Yuping spoke, took out a large pile of devil mirrors, and said, "These are custom-made by you. You must buy them today, no matter what." Chapter 1406. Meeting Master and Disciple Han Yuping sneered a few times, then took out the devil mirror and posted a message on it. He said, "I want everyone in the immortal desolate to know how arrogant your Guanghan palace is. Even though I, Han Yuping, am not an immortal emperor, the other immortal emperors all respect me. Only a bunch of unreasonable women like you would think that we have tampered with the magic mirror. How unreasonable!" Yu waved her hand and released a black energy that wrapped around the devil mirror in Han Yuping's hand and simply shattered it. Han Yuping's expression changed. He immediately brought his people and rushed out, but the door is already closed. "If you dare to post negative news about the Guanghan Palace on the Devil Mirror, I guarantee that I will chop off your dog head." Yu said coldly, "Hurry up and scram." Han Yuping brought his people and left the hall while suppressing a bellyful of anger. Not long after, Han Yuping returned again. Moreover, he brought a few old immortal kings. They are all Devil Mirror disciples. "Immortal Emperor Yu, don't go too far. First, you were suspicious of our Devil Mirror, causing many people to suspect that there is a problem with our Devil Mirror. We had to pay a great price to eliminate this negative influence. Later on, we specially ordered a devil mirror for you, but you found it expensive and refused to buy it." An old man said angrily, "You bunch of idiots. I already said it earlier. I want a mortal emperor devil mirror to come and trade with me. I want him to sign a soul contract with me to guarantee that there is no problem with these devil mirrors." Yu said angrily, "Of course I can afford several billion immortal jade beads. What I want is absolute safety." Qinyan can also see that there's a problem, because this group of people came to trade behind the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor's back. This means that there's indeed a problem with their Devil Mirror. "What problem can there be with our Devil Mirror?" Han Yuping said with sneer. "This batch of Devil Mirror is made of top-quality materials. It won't be damaged that easily. This is what we specially refined for you, and the specifics are the same as the other Devil Mirrors. I don't believe your nonsense. I want to trade with Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror face to face." Yu shouted. If you can't do it, then quickly scram. Han Yuping looked at the few elders and said, Seniors, look, I am very sincere in making a deal with her, but she is not willing. Qin Yin changed his voice and made it hoarse. He said, Show me the devil mirror you refined. Hearing that Qin Yun's voice is a man's voice, Han Yuping and company are very surprised. Qin Yun's body was wrapped in a black robe, and he wore a mask. It was impossible to tell whether he was a man or a woman. Han Yuping and the others knew that the people of the Moon Palace were all women, but there was a man here. Xian Rujing and Yu both know that Qin Yun is from Inscription Mysterious Sect. Han Yuping took out a magic mirror and threw it to Qin Yun. After receiving it, Qin Yun used his extinction spirit eye to take a look. He discovered that there are quite a few simple and concise spatial runes that the magic mirror should not have. What shocked him is that the spatial runes inside the magic mirror are actually connected to another spatial formation base. One had to know that the central array foundation of all the magic mirrors was set up by Qin Yun in his previous life. It was later improved by a mortal emperor magic mirror, and the devil mirror refined by Han Yuping and company. Apart from connecting to the central array foundation of Qin Yun's previous life, it is also connected to other array foundations. There's a very big problem with this devil mirror. How is it? Yu asked. The problem is very big. Close the door and let Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror personally come. If he doesn't come, chop off their heads and hang them on the door. Qin Yun said, Their cultivation is very high. Even if their heads are chopped off, they won't die in a short time. After Qin Yun finished speaking, Yu immediately closed the door. You bastard, what did you say? How can there be a problem with our devil mirror? Han Yuping furiously said, Let a mortal emperor magic mirror come, or you will all die. Yu said in cold voice. The hall is filled with cold, killing intent. Han Yuping promptly took out a devil mirror and shouted, Sect Master, quickly come. Moon Palace's immortal emperor Yu is truly going too far. She dislikes my specially refined devil mirror for being too expensive and wants to kill me. Yu immediately released her killing intent and furiously said, If you speak nonsense again, I will kill you. Sect Master, did you hear me? Han Yuping shouted. I'll go now. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror finished speaking and cut off the connection. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is nearby, and not long after, he came knocking on the door. Yu controlled the door and opened it. After opening the door, she saw a thin and small middle-aged man walk in. He has 2 strands of beard, and his hair is parted in the middle. He is wearing a gray robe, and there's a mirror on his chest and another mirror on his back. Sect Master, Immortal Emperor Yu wants to kill us. We Devil Mirror disciples are respected by all the major powers, but this woman is completely unreasonable. Han Yuping finished speaking and pointed at Qin Yun and said, This guy who came out of nowhere actually said that there's a big problem with our devil mirror. Immortal Emperor Yu, what exactly is going on? Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror asked with a smile after entering. Didn't you say that you would specially refine a batch of devil mirror for our Moon Palace? Moreover, you guaranteed that there would be no problem. Yu said, I agreed to buy, but I will only do business with you face to face. I asked you to come over, but these guys refuse no matter what. It is very suspicious. To be honest, if not for giving you face, I would have already chopped them up. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror said with smile, I indeed have some matters that I can't leave, so I let them come. Moreover, that batch of devil mirror was also refined by them. There is definitely no problem. Since that's the case, then sign a soul contract with me. Yu said, All right. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror said with smile, then looked at Han Yuping and shouted in low voice, Quickly take out that batch of devil mirror. Sect Master here. Han Yuping promptly took out a storage bag and handed it over to Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror. Wait, don't tell me you don't want to personally take a look at these devil mirrors? Qin Yun suddenly said. Hearing the man's voice, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is also very surprised. He said with smile, I don't need to look. I trust my disciple. Qin Yun changed his voice, so Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror can't hear it. Qin Yun looked at Yu and said, Close the door. Yu promptly closed the door. Immortal Emperor Yu, what are you doing? Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is somewhat worried. He is afraid of fighting with Yu. Qin Yun said, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror, carefully look at these devil mirrors to see if there is any problem. All right. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror can only take out a devil mirror and carefully look at it. After a while, he shook his head and said, There is no problem. These devil mirrors were invented by me. If there is a problem, how could I not see it? Qin Yun slightly frowned. He suddenly felt that his disciple is very stupid. She is about to fall into someone else's trap, and yet she still hasn't realized it. However, after thinking about it carefully, he also felt that the problem hidden in the devil mirror is very hidden. He discovered it because he is very sensitive to some of the runes inside the devil mirror. Suddenly seeing some spatial runes appear, he felt that there's a problem. If there's a problem, please point it out, brother. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is very polite. In Yu's territory, you must be well-behaved. Qin Yun walked towards Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror, and Yu promptly followed. At this time, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror, Han Yuping, and others suddenly felt that this mysterious man is not simple. He can actually make Yu accompany him. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is holding a devil mirror in his hand. It was refined by Han Yuping and others. After Qin Yun walked over, he said, Turn to the back. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror did as instructed. Then, Qin Yun took out the floating cloud divine needle and pointed it at the back of the devil mirror. Seeing the floating cloud divine needle, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror almost lost his balance. His whole body trembled. Others may not recognize it, but he is very clear that it is Immortal King Floating Cloud's floating cloud divine needle. Not only is it a very powerful carving knife, it is also a very powerful weapon. Look at the devil mirror. Don't look at me. Qin Yun said in a deep voice. Yes, yes, yes. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror's forehead is immediately filled with sweat. Yu and Xian Rujing glanced at each other. They feel very doubtful. They don't know that Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is Qin Yun's disciple. And Han Yuping and other disciples of Devil Mirror are even more unaware. After being pointed at by Qin Yun, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror very quickly discover problem. There's a set of spatial runes that the Devil Mirror should not have. They are hidden very deeply and are intertwined with other spatial runes. These spatial runes should not have appeared on the Devil Mirror. It means that this set of spatial runes is connected to other spatial formation bases and can steal any information sent or received by the Devil Mirror. After discovering this point, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is even more terrified. If he signed a soul contract with Yu, moreover it is a death contract, he would be done for. At that time, his Devil Mirror gate will be taken over by someone else. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror's expression gradually turned gloomy and cold, because he knows that the disciples behind him want to usurp his position and collude with others. He admires his master even more in his heart. Even though he doesn't have the memories of his past life, he can see through the hidden problem of the Devil Mirror. A black mace suddenly appeared in Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror's hand. Seeing him take out a weapon, Yu and Xian Rujing are endlessly apprehensive. They think that Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror wants to start a war. Who would have thought that Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror would suddenly turn around and sweep his mace at Han Yuping's waist? Boom! Han Yuping's waist was immediately broken into pieces, blood and flesh splashed everywhere. He has been cut into 2 pieces. Sec Master, what are you doing? Han Yuping's upper body is wriggling as he screamed miserably. Hoo. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror flickered back and forth. He brandished his mace and cut all the disciples behind him into 2 pieces. In just a few short moments, the furious Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror beat a few of his immortal kings into 2 pieces. The ground is filled with minced meat and blood. Many legs are flying in all directions. Xian Rujing and Yu are also somewhat startled looking at this scene. Master, many thanks for the pointers, otherwise Xiao Ding would have been killed by them. Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror suddenly knelt down towards Qin Yun and respectfully shouted. Han Yuping and the others are immortal kings. Although their bodies have been cut into two pieces, they are not dead. Seeing immortal Emperor Magic Mirror kowtowing to a mysterious man and calling him master, they are immediately scared silly. Xian Rujing knows that Qin Yun once pretended to be immortal Emperor Magic Mirror's distinguished disciple, but now it seems that immortal Emperor Magic Mirror is Qin Yun's distinguished disciple. Chapter 1407. Mission Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror thought that Qin Yun was in Luo Tian City. Even if he came over, he would go find him first. He never expected Qin Yun to be together with Yu Yu. He remembered that Yu Yu hated Immortal King Fu Yun very much. Back then, when Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor was still Immortal King Fu Yun's disciple, he knew that the reason why Yu Yu was sealed in the Nethermoon Desolate Domain was all because of Qin Yun's scheme. Yu Yu was miserably deceived back then, but now their relationship seemed to be pretty good. This surprised Immortal Emperor Fiend Mirror and made him secretly admire Qin Yun. Xiaoding, get up, Qin Yun said indifferently. Those guys harbor evil intentions. Not only did they want to frame you, they also tampered with the Devil Mirror. They must have colluded with others to steal information from Guanghan Palace. The Demon Mirror Immortal Emperor picked up the bloody mace and walked towards Han Yuping. His voice was filled with anger as he roared. You bastard! I've always treated you well and even taught you the entire refinement method of the Demon Mirror. You actually wanted to usurp my position and even colluded with other forces. Headmaster, I'm innocent. Han Yuping was so scared that his face was distorted. He only had his upper body now, and he was wriggling on the ground. Han Yuping's group tampered with the mirror and successfully fooled the Emperor, but they didn't expect for a master to appear. They had never heard of Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror having a master. Wronged? Looks like you don't want to die a quick death, do you? Is it because I'm usually too polite that you all think I'm easy to bully? Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror's expression was cold as he took out several spikes and said, Today, I will show you my most ruthless side. Sect leader, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate made us do it. When they found out that I was going to refine a batch of magic mirrors for the Guanghan Palace, they came to find me. They want to monitor the disciples of the Guanghan Palace. Han Yuping was scared out of his wits because he had never seen such a terrifying appearance from the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor. After Yu Yu heard this, she clenched her fist and said coldly, Those bastards from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Qin Yun said, It shouldn't be just the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, right? They're still immortals. I had no choice. Two great emperors came to me and gave me great benefits. What could I do? If I don't do it, I'll die too. Han Yuping cried out, Sect Master, don't kill me. Then why didn't you discuss it with me? You're clearly trying to kill me. If I signed a contract with Immortal Emperor Yu Yu without knowing anything, wouldn't I be dead for sure? After Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror finished speaking, he smashed his rod towards Han Yuping's head. Yu Yu, Qin Yun, and Xian Rujing are all people who have seen wind and waves. Although it is very bloody, they do not feel anything. Those who were still alive cried and begged the Emperor to let them go after seeing Han Yuping's miserable death. Demonic Mirror Immortal Emperor was not lenient at all because he was almost killed by these people. Although these disciples only had half of their bodies left, they were still beaten to death by the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor. After Demonic Mirror Immortal Emperor got rid of these traitors, he quickly cleaned up the place. Master, why didn't you inform me that you were here? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with face full of smile. Many thanks to Master just now. Otherwise I would have been dead for sure. Master is truly awesome. You can see that there's a problem with the Devil Mirror. Qin Yun took off his mask and sat down. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror promptly bowed and walked over. He looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, Master, you are still so handsome. To be honest, ever since you died, I have never seen someone as handsome as you. Luckily you were reborn, otherwise it would be a great loss to this world. Enough, don't flatter me, Qin Yun said with smile. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror looked at Yu Yu and is somewhat worried, because he kept calling Yu Yu a busybody before. If Yu Yu finds out, he might lose a layer of skin. Master, Did you come here to take the sun-suppressing divine arrow? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile. With your ability, you will definitely be able to easily obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror very much wants the sun-suppressing divine arrow, but he knows that he won't be able to obtain it. If Qin Yun can obtain it, then, as his disciple, he'll be able to show off his might, and might even be able to touch it. All right, go back and make the arrangements first. Don't let those two bastard great emperors know that I am here, and don't let them know that you kill Han Yuping. Qin Yun said, Yes, master. I will go back and make the arrangements. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile, and then left Yu Yu's spherical building. Yu Yu took off her mask and sat down. She rolled her eyes at Qin Yun and said, So that guy is your disciple? What's his name? Wu Xiaoding. This guy is very crafty. Taking advantage of the fact that I don't have my past life's memories, he actually pretended to be my master. Later I saw it through him. Qin Yun said with smile. Little brother Xiao Yun, you seem to be very proficient in Devil Mirror. Can you refine Devil Mirror? Xian Rujing promptly walked to Qin Yun's side and asked with a charming smile. Of course I can refine. Sister Yang and Yuelan's Devil Mirror were refined by me. Not only is it very safe, they also don't need to pay Immortal Jade Bead. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile and took out a Devil Mirror. Why didn't you say so earlier? Quickly help us refine 100. Our Guanghan Palace wants to use them. Yu Yu said, These Devil Mirrors are indeed very convenient, but I was worried before. Qin Yun said with smile. Truth be told, most of the Devil Mirrors have problems. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror can grasp many people's whereabouts and all kinds of information through the Devil Mirror. He can even control the Devil Mirror to explode. This damn guy. Xian Rujing promptly took out her Devil Mirror and threw it away. Qin Yun raised his hand and picked up the Devil Mirror. Then he took out the floating cloud divine needle and made some simple modifications. He said with smile, There's no problem now. You can use it however you want. Really? Xian Rujing is still somewhat worried and said, Refine a new one for me. Qin Yun, I want 100. I want to take it for free. I'll give you 5 billion Immortal Jade Beads. How about it? Yi wanted to buy a batch before. Qin Yun still has a few that he refined himself. He took them out and handed them to Yu Yu and said, I still have a few more. When I see Shui Ru in the future, I'll pass the refining technique to her. You guys go refine it yourselves. All right. Yu Yu is secretly happy and nodded. Xian Rujing said, Little brother Xiao Yun, when do you plan on seeing the sun-suppressing divine arrow from close range? I saw the sun-suppressing divine arrow from close range a long time ago. I will have to start from the 9 Extinction Profound Gate. Qin Yun told her about how he once entered the 9 Extinction Profound Gate. Xian Rujing also knows that Qin Yun knows 9 Extinction Sect Master. But now that she heard the details, she is amazed. Yu did not expect that after Qin Yun's rebirth, he would actually live even better than his past life and know all kinds of awesome people. Qin Long, who took the sun-suppressing divine arrow, is my father. Qin Yun said with smile, and Netherworld Great Emperor is my foster father. I really didn't expect that among the people who took the sun-suppressing divine arrow, I know quite a few of them. Xian Rujing said with smile, They all obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow. You should also be able to obtain it. Let's take action late at night. Qin Yun said with nod. Yi went out for a while. She wants to check if there are any immortal kings from Sacred Desolate in the vicinity so that they won't disturb Qin Yun's search for the sun-suppressing divine arrow late at night. Qin Yun also doesn't know how to sense the sun core. However, he feels that since he has the 9 sun divine spirit and nether sun inside his body, maybe he will have a way to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Late at night, Qin Yun, Yu Yu, and Xian Rujing are all wearing black robes and white masks. In front of them are the 3 heaven-piercing pillar-like sun-suppressing divine arrow. After Qin Yun approached, the 9 sun divine spirit on his wrist suddenly trembled and emerged from his flesh and blood. The 9 sun divine spirit can fuse with Qin Yun's flesh and blood. Normally, it can only appear under Qin Yun's control. but now it has appeared on its own. Qin Yun promptly concentrated his mind and followed the nine-sun divine spirit to sense something. After approaching the sun-suppressing divine arrow, he suddenly heard a voice resounding in his mind. It is an illusory and indistinct voice, overlapping and overlapping. He can tell that it is a man's voice. Do you want to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow? That illusory and indistinct voice said. Yes. Qin Yun promptly responded. If you obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, you will shoulder the divine arrow's mission. If you can't accomplish it, you will die in the end. That voice said again. What mission? Qin Yun asked. If you want me to go around killing people, arson, and willfully slaughter the innocent, I can't do it. Of course it's not that kind of thing. It's to protect the nine-sun heart. That voice said. All right, I am willing to do it. Qin Yun immediately agreed. Because his father, foster father, and Siekaru have already done it, he feels that there shouldn't be any problem. Then I am willing to entrust one sun-suppressing divine arrow to you and let you complete the mission of protecting the nine-sun heart. That mysterious voice very calmly said, I wish you success in everything. Wait a minute, can I also let my two friends obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow? My two friends have pretty good potential. Qin Yun promptly said, Hold their hands. Let me see their potential. That mysterious voice said. Qin Yun suddenly pulled Xian Rujing and Yu Yu's hands. Moreover, he held them very tightly and sent his thoughts into their bodies. Just as they were about to ask Qin Yun what's wrong, that mysterious voice echoed in their minds. It's related to the mission. This is an opportunity to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. They immediately agreed. All right, their potential is indeed astonishing. They can communicate with me through you. It is also their opportunity. That mysterious voice recalled in Qin Yun's mind. You approach the sun-suppressing divine arrow separately. As long as you touch it, it will become small and then enter your body. Senior, there are many experts in the vicinity. I am worried that after obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow, I will be killed by them. Qin Yun said again. After you obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow, you will be able to obtain a lot of power for a short period of time. You can use this power to leave this place. That mysterious voice finished speaking and then disappeared. Now, Xian Rujing and you are very excited. They did not expect to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow so easily. Chapter 1408. The might of a divine arrow. Yu first escorted Qin Yun to the nearest sun-suppressing divine arrow. Then she and Xian Rujing went to the other two sun-suppressing divine arrows. Late at night, although there were people near the sun-suppressing divine arrow, there were not many of them. Qin Yun arrived beside a sun-suppressing divine arrow and concealed himself, waiting for Xian Rujing and Yu. After waiting for a while, they were all near the two sun-suppressing divine arrows. Previously, Yu decided that she would take one sun-suppressing divine arrow first to attract the attention of others. Then they took away the sun-suppressing divine arrow and quickly left this place. The people near the sun-suppressing divine arrow did not understand how a weak person could successfully escape after taking the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun had always been puzzled. Now, he finally knew that when he obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow, his strength would increase significantly. Non-extinction sect Master Wei Zhongzheng was an immortal king. After obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow, he was able to escape unscathed from two great thearchs and a group of immortal emperors. When a netherworld great emperor took the sun-suppressing divine arrow, no one dared to stop him. Although Qin Long and Siekaru were being chased, they were able to escape smoothly. Especially Siekaru. She can directly teleport the inscription beast away. Although he knew that obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow would also give him a powerful power to escape, Qin Yun could not help but feel nervous. After all, there were many immortal emperors and immortal kings near the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xian Rujing and Yu are very excited. Especially Yu. She is extremely excited. I am preparing to take away the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Yu used the devil mirror to inform Qin Yun and Xian Rujing, telling them to prepare. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are ready. They all looked at the sun-suppressing divine arrow where Yu is. Although the distance is a little far, because the sun-suppressing divine arrow is very tall and big, even in the middle of the night, they can see a shadow standing there. Suddenly, the sun-suppressing divine arrow at Yu's location emitted a burst of intense flame light. It is as if the sun is releasing light. The gigantic sun-suppressing divine arrow immediately illuminated the surroundings, causing a huge commotion. The people near the sun-suppressing divine arrow immediately became excited and hurriedly rushed over. It was especially so for those immortal emperors and immortal kings. They were the fastest and rushed over immediately. At the same time, the sun-suppressing divine arrow was also rapidly shrinking. The sun-suppressing divine arrow has been obtained by me, Yu. Whoever wants to snatch it, come over immediately. Yu is holding an arrow flickering with golden light in her hand. Her lily-white hands are trembling. It is unknown if she is too excited or the energy inside the arrow is very strong. The sun-suppressing divine arrow is a divine object of the Nine Desolate. Yu, a woman, hand over this divine object. You don't deserve the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Suddenly, a voice floated over. Cut the crap. If any of you want to snatch it, hurry up and come over. Yu laughed wildly and said, Women are not worthy to possess sun-suppressing divine arrow. I think it's you idiots who don't have the right to get it. So you're jealous of me? Many of the people who obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow previously had very low cultivation. For example, Xiekaru, Qin Long, and the Long family's young Xian immortal were able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. This also caused many immortal emperors and immortal kings to doubt their lives. Their cultivation levels were clearly very high, but they couldn't obtain it. Yu, the sun-suppressing divine arrow is mine. A coarse voice resounded, and an incomparably terrifying pressure suddenly enveloped them. Devil immortal heavenly gates, left protector? Why didn't your devil immortal great emperor come? Yu said with sneer, He's afraid of death. I'm enough to destroy you. When devil immortal heavenly gates left protector charged at Yu, he brought along a large amount of red energy mist, causing the night sky to look like it is shrouded in a scarlet blood mist. Destroy me? You overestimate yourself. Yu also rushed out, tightly gripped the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and stabbed at devil immortal heavenly gates left protector. Boom! At the same time the sun-suppressing divine arrow stabbed out, an earth-shaking explosion occurred. Incomparably majestic sun power surged out from the sun-suppressing divine arrow and transformed into an arrow image that pierced towards devil immortal heavenly gates left protector. Many people watched this astonishing scene attentively. After devil immortal heavenly gates left protector was stabbed, his body instantly exploded. This immediately caused many restless immortal emperors to be endlessly shocked. Devil immortal heavenly gates left protector is a famous and powerful immortal emperor. He was actually instantly killed by Yu. Previously, some people guessed that after obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow, one's power would increase by several times. Now, it seems that it is indeed so. Yu is an immortal emperor. With the sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand, she is invincible. Previously, Nine-Extinction Sect Master was merely an immortal king. Those immortal emperors could not do anything to him, let alone Yu. At the same time, the other two sun-suppressing divine arrows suddenly flickered with intense sunlight. The world was once again illuminated by the light released by the enormous sun-suppressing divine arrow. At this moment, everyone present was shocked. Another two sun-suppressing divine arrows were taken away. A large group of experts watched as the two sun-suppressing divine arrows became smaller and fell into the hands of two masked people. The most shocking thing is that the two masked people wearing black robes are dressed the same as Yu Yu. Yu Yu is also wearing the same mask and black robes. Could it be that they are people from Guanghan Palace? Motherfucker, these women from Guanghan Palace actually took away 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows. Won't they be invincible in the future? Devil Immortal Great Emperor and Immortal Desolate Great Emperor quickly attack. If Guanghan Palace obtains 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows, they will definitely be suppressed by those women in the future. What's going on? Why did Guanghan Palace suddenly take away 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows? Did they master the secret technique? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is also watching. He is extremely alarmed. He knew that Qin Yin would definitely be able to take away the sun-suppressing divine arrows, but he did not expect that he would be able to obtain 3 in one go. Yu Yu has been here for so long, but she has not been able to obtain any sun-suppressing divine arrows. Yet Qin Yin obtained them as soon as he arrived. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror thought about it and realized that Qin Yin helped them. As expected of Master. Truly awesome. No wonder Yu Yu doesn't hate him. This is skill. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror sighed with emotion in his heart. In just an instant, all kinds of news exploded on Devil Mirror, saying that Guanghan Palace obtained 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows. Now the happiest people are the Guanghan Palace's disciples. Yang Shiyu knows that Qin Yin went to find Yu Yu. After seeing the news, she guessed that it was Qin Yin who helped them. After Qin Yin and Xian Rujing obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrows, their bodies became wrapped in sunlight, and they felt that they have grasped a very formidable power. Very formidable defense. Even an immortal emperor's attack would find it difficult to break. Qin Yin feels that this is inconceivable. This kind of power makes him feel as if he is invincible. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate's left law protector was instantly killed by Yu Yu. This matter caused many immortal emperors to feel endless fear. Even the 2 hidden great emperors don't dare to come out now. 3 people from Guanghan Palace obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrows. Their power sharply increased by several times. If they are all immortal emperors and immortal kings, once they join hands, even those 2 great emperors would die. Qin Yin and Xian Rujing directly flew away. Their speed is very fast. Yu Yu did not leave. She wants to stay here to intimidate the other immortal emperors and immortal kings. Suddenly, an immortal emperor rushed towards Qin Yin. After Yu Yu sensed it, she teleported in a blink and shot an arrow. With a loud explosion, that immortal emperor's body turned into a field of sparks that scattered in all directions, like fireworks exploding. Another immortal emperor was instantly killed by Yu Yu. That is, Yu family's immortal emperor Diyu. The people present burst into an uproar again. Yu family's immortal emperor Diyu is very strong. He is also inscription mysterious sect. His equipment is very strong, yet he was instantly killed. Qin Yin and Xian Rujing flew in 2 different directions. They are not together. Their speed is very fast. They also know that the temporary power won't last for long. Their cultivation is also not high. They don't dare to stay in that area for too long. They want to leave as soon as possible. Daybreak, Qin Yin arrived at a mountain range covered with ice and snow. Although the peak of this mountain is covered with ice and snow, under the sunlight, it is suffused with purple color. This is the Purple Ice Mountain Range. If Qin Yin normally went to the Purple Ice Mountain Range, it would take him 2 to 3 days to reach it. But now, in just one night, he arrived at the Purple Ice Mountain Range. The reason why he wants to go to the Purple Ice Mountain Range is because it is a Xian Immortal Holy Land. The strongest can only be a 9th layer Xian Immortal. This way, he won't be chased by even stronger people. Xian Rujing is also in another direction of the Purple Ice Mountain Range. She is heading to meet up with Qin Yin. Qin Yin found a place outside the Purple Ice Mountain Range and released the floating cloud pagoda. Now he has time to reply to other people's messages. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror sent him a message. Congratulations, Master, for obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow. If there is an opportunity, let disciple touch it, hee hee. After that, the little black donkey sent him a message saying that all the divine sun suppressing arrows had been taken. It expressed sadness and jealousy. Finally, it was Yang Shuriyue. She had urgent matters to discuss with him. Big Sister Yang. Qin Yun contacted Yang Shuryu and said with a smile, I obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow. When you told me, I knew you had a way. Even you has no choice but to admire you. Yang Shuriyue said with a smile. Yu now calls me Big Sister. Did you tell her to shout that? Yes. Then he told Yang Shuriyue about how he carved the Nether Moon totem for Yu, causing Yang Shuriyue to chuckle. After that, he talked about the sun-suppressing divine arrow's mission to protect the heart of the 9 suns. When Yang Shuryu heard this, she said worriedly, Xiao Yun, you must be careful. Got it. I am also worried that the Guanghan Palace will be attacked. Qin Yun said. Don't worry, the Guanghan Palace still has Sister Bing Xing, a very strong immortal emperor. Furthermore, our Guanghan Palace also has the protection of the Moon God Mountain. It won't be so easy to break through like before. Yang Shuryu said, now that everyone outside thinks that our Guanghan Palace has obtained 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows, they won't dare to act recklessly. Yu used the sun-suppressing divine arrow to instantly kill 2 immortal emperors. This is enough to intimidate the 2 great emperors. The Guanghan Palace is now temporarily safe. All right, I'll go study the sun-suppressing divine arrow first. Qin Yun nodded. He put away the devil mirror and took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Mission to protect the 9 suns' heart? How do I accomplish this? Qin Yun looked at the beautiful sun-suppressing divine arrow. It is golden and dazzling and can change size at will. The sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly floated up, rotated for a moment, and pointed in a certain direction. Chapter 1409. White Fox Qin Yun stored the sun-suppressing divine arrow and sat inside the floating cloud pagoda to wait for Xian Rujing. The power released by the sun-suppressing divine arrow has already disappeared. It will take some time for Xian Rujing to arrive. Yu is also on the way. When she arrives, Qin Yun will have to leave the Purple Ice Mountain Range. Because Yu is an immortal emperor, she cannot enter the Xian immortal Holy Land. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted the little black donkey. Little Black, where did you and Azure Dragon go? Asked Qin Yun. I can't tell you. It's a secret. The little black donkey chuckled. Little mortal, don't be envious of me. I'm living a carefree life now, and there's a lot of delicious food. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Don't you like eating dragon meat? Why are you on such good terms with Azure Dragon? The black donkey said proudly, We've always been good brothers. Back then, it was the Azure Dragon who brought me everywhere to kill dragons. That was how I fell in love with eating dragon meat. Little mortal, you can't be envious of such a life. By the way, will the mission that Azure Dragon is going to complete after obtaining the sun-suppressing divine arrow be dangerous? Qin Yun asked. I don't know about that. In any case, I have the divine sun-suppressing arrow. There's nothing to be afraid of. The black donkey chuckled. You don't have to worry about me. You should worry more about yourself. Last time, there were a few powerful immortal kings who surrounded and attacked you. They were all from the sacred wasteland. The Daoyang divine sect has already sent people over. Qin Yun said, Those guys came to find me again. The little black donkey exclaimed, Really? Are they still outside your broken stone building? He died a long time ago. Qin Yun chuckled and said, I found a very strong backer, an immortal emperor. Was it that coward immortal emperor, demonic mirror? I don't think this guy would dare to kill those guys, would he? The black donkey was a little surprised. Of course not. Qin Yun did not tell the little black donkey that he had obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow, lest it spread the news out of jealousy. I don't think it's him either. This fellow is very cowardly. The black donkey laughed. Little mortal, let's meet again if fate wills it. I'm going to have fun with Brother Azure Dragon. Don't be jealous. Qin Yun curled his lips and disconnected. Ling Yun said, Azure Dragon's cultivation should not be very high. Otherwise, he would have been able to kill those celestial kings back then, and not just beat them back. Qin Yin felt the same way. Back then, he believed that Azure Dragon's cultivation level was very high. Later, when he saw Yu obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow and easily kill an immortal emperor, he roughly knew that the Azure Dragon was not very strong. What surprised him is that a divine beast like the Azure Dragon actually ended up in the Immortal Desolate. Just as Qin Yin was about to take out the sun-suppressing divine arrow to study, he suddenly heard a loud shout coming from outside. Save me! Save me! Good Samaritan, please save me! A woman's cries came from outside. Qin Yin hurriedly opened the door and saw a skinny girl with tattered clothes and bloodstains all over her body. She was running on the icy ground. Her bare feet were covered in blood. Behind him, a large group of people quickly caught up. Qin Yin quickly pulled the woman in and closed the door. Rumble. Just as Qin Yin closed the door, a large group of people crazily attacked. Who are they? Why do they beat you up like this? Qin Yin looked at the woman whose face is filled with whip scars and asked in a low voice. I was captured by them. I quietly escaped, and they chased me all the way here. The woman curled up in a corner. Her face is filled with tears. Qin Yin took out some medicine and a set of clothes and draped them over her body. This woman is also a Xian immortal. Thank you. The woman looked at Qin Yin and said softly, You are truly a kind-hearted person. Who are those people outside? I saved you. You should at least let me know who the enemies I'm about to face are. Qin Yin asked, I don't know who they are. They just want to capture me. The woman used the medicine and applied it to the wounds on her body, allowing them to quickly heal. Qin Yin can see that this woman is very vigilant against him. Ling Yin said, This woman is not human. She should be a beast. Qin Yin frowned and said to the woman, Are you a beast? The woman immediately cried out in fear. She looked at Qin Yin with a terrified expression and shouted, Don't come over. Don't worry. Even if you are a beast, as long as you don't provoke me, I won't deal with you. Qin Yin shook his head and smiled. Don't be afraid. When the woman saw the amiable look in Qin Yin's eyes, she gradually let down her guard. I'm a fox. Because I have a special ability that allows me to find divine fruits, I was captured. That scoundrel often beat me and forced me to find divine fruits. It wasn't easy for me to escape. As the woman spoke, she shed sad tears and sobbed. I've been beaten many, many times. Even though I'm a Xian immortal beast, I've never killed anyone. I've always eaten fruits to cultivate. Why do they beat me? Qin Yin sighed and asked, What is your name? My friends call me by Xiaohu. You saved me. I will definitely repay you in the future. Bai Xiaohu's eyes are clear. She looked at Qin Yin with gratitude. No need to repay. Saving you was just a slight effort. Qin Yin looked at her face and said, Your self-healing speed is very fast. Will you be fine very soon? And thank you. Good person, what is your name? Bai Xiaohu asked. Qin Yin. Qin Yin finished speaking and arrived at the window to look at the people outside. He feels that if Xian Rujing comes, she might start fighting with those people. Bai Xiaohu lightly bit her lower lip and looked all around. She saw that those people are crazily attacking, but they are unable to break through the pagoda. Young Master Qin, I am sorry, I implicated you, Bai Xiaohu said with some guilt. I sense that there are people here, so I wanted to try my luck and ask for help. Your cultivation is not high. You will be trapped here for a very long time. Qin Yin said with a smile. It's fine, my friend will arrive very soon. He finished speaking and took out the devil mirror to contact Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing has obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Even though the temporary power she obtained has dissipated, she can still rely on the sun-suppressing divine arrow to become very strong. The people outside are all Xian immortals, but they are not very strong 9th layer upper immortals. It seems like they are just Xian immortals. If Qin Yin wants to go out, he can kill his way out with the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xiaohu, who among the people outside beat you? Qin Yin asked. Bai Xiaohu slowly stood up and walked over to the window to look at the people outside. She said in a low voice, "It's that man in lavender clothes. He was the one who captured me. After I ran away, he brought a large group of people to chase after me. He even said that whoever caught me could sleep with me." Bai Xiaohu's face is filled with blood stains. She is filled with doubt. She mumbled in low voice, "Really? What is so good about sleeping with me? Can I sleep by myself?" Qin Yun can see that this is a very pure little fox. They must be people from Purple Ice Sacred City. I will go out and teach them a lesson. Qin Yun took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and said, "Young Master Qin, don't take risks. There are many of them." Bai Xiaohu promptly pulled Qin Yun. Qin Yun said with smile, "I am not afraid of them." After speaking, Qin Yun opened the door, and the group of people outside promptly retreated. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand is more than 2 meters long. It looks like a golden spear. He is holding it in his hand, and it is emitting a raging flame. "Hurry up and release my fox. I caught it." A youth wearing light purple clothes shouted at Qin Yun. He doesn't dare to attack now. There are more than 100 people in this group, and there are many 9th stage exalted immortals. They saw that the floating cloud pagoda's defense is very strong, and they know that the people inside the pagoda are not weak. That little fox ran away. It is no longer yours. Now it is mine. Also, you destroyed my pagoda. I want you to compensate me." Qin Yun said, "What did you say?" "Your broken pagoda was originally like this. It was like this even before we started fighting. It seems like not only you don't want to return the fox to me, you also want to extort me. Do you know who I am? I am from Purple Ice Sacred City. I came from Sacred Desolate and cultivated Sacred Spirit Sacred Body." "Oh," Qin Yun said indifferently. "I heard that many people who cultivated Sacred Spirit Sacred Body died in Great Desert Sacred City. Many of them died in Great Desert Sacred City. They are all trash from Great Desert Sacred City. I, Fan Kylie, am a Xian immortal, not someone those weak chickens can compare to," the youth proudly said. Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly stabbed forward. His speed is very fast, and his attack is also very unexpected. Fan Kylie is a 2nd stage Xian immortal. He is indeed worthy of being from Sacred Desolate. He sensed Qin Yun's sudden attack and promptly dodged, but he was still a bit too slow. Although Fan Kylie dodged sideways, his shoulder was still pierced by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Fan Kylie has pretty good equipment, but he is still like a piece of wood. He was pierced by the arrow. "You attacked my pagoda just now, and you attacked it so viciously. I won't let you off," Qin Yun said with sneer. When Fan Kylie saw how powerful Qin Yun is, he immediately panicked and shouted, "They are all attacking." At this moment, he did not dare to move, because he knew that Qin Yun could pierce his head at any time. Qin Yun coldly swept his gaze across the 100-plus people and said slowly, "Those who attacked this pagoda just now, cut off one of your arms. If you want me to make a move, I will directly take your lives. We are all people who joined Purple Ice Sacred City. Right now, you are in the Purple Ice Mountain Range, which means you are in the territory of Purple Ice Sacred City. If you have the guts, wait for our Purple Ice Sacred City's reinforcements to arrive. At that time, you'll have a good time." A middle-aged man from Purple Ice Sacred City shouted. When they saw that Fan Kylie is still being pierced by Qin Yun, they did not dare to step forward. Qin Yun withdrew the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and Fan Kylie cried out in pain again. "All right, I will wait for your Purple Ice Sacred City's reinforcements to arrive. If they attack me at that time, I will let them have a taste of my power," Qin Yun said coldly. "Also, if any of you dares to run, I guarantee that I will blow your head off." As he spoke, he used Piercing Mountain and Splitting Earth Finger and attacked a several thousand feet tall iceberg in the distance. Boom! Chapter 1410. The person who destroyed the altar by Xiaohu, who is inside the floating cloud pagoda, is also scared out of her wits. She never thought that the power of humans could be so terrifying. The most terrified one is still Fan Kylie. He came from the sacred, desolate land and knew that the icebergs in the purple ice mountain range are formed from the power of the sun divine stone and are extremely sturdy. Even if there's a fierce battle nearby, it might not be able to collapse the iceberg. However, Qin Yun's finger from afar was able to destroy a huge iceberg. That kind of power is much stronger than Fan Kylie's. The others are so scared that they don't dare to move. They are worried that Qin Yun's finger will explode their heads. Suddenly, someone asked in a trembling voice, "Big Brother Fan, are the reinforcements from the Purple Ice Sacred City reliable?" Of course they are. Even if they can't beat this guy, they won't suffer a loss. Fan Kylie said in a low voice, "Don't be afraid. No matter what, our Purple Ice Sacred City is the overlord of this place. We will definitely be able to suppress him." A purple figure suddenly flew over. Fan Kylie shouted in pleasant surprise, "Are you Uncle Hua Zhongxiang?" "I am Fan Kylie." Hua Zhongxiang is a middle-aged man wearing purple armor. He has a fiendish square face, thick eyebrows, and big eyes. After he arrived, he looked at Qin Yun with a fierce expression. "I received a call for help, so I hurried over. What happened?" Hua Zhongxiang looked at Qin Yun and saw the flaming rod in Qin Yun's hand. His eyes immediately turned hot. He knew that it was a very powerful weapon. "We caught a little fox earlier. That little fox is very powerful. It can sense the divine fruit from afar. We relied on that little fox to find many divine trees, but we couldn't get any divine fruit." Fan Kylie paused for a moment and said with a mischievous smile, "Uncle Hua." After that little fox turned into a human, she looked pretty good and she didn't lose her virginity. If you can kill this guy in front of you and get the little fox out of that pagoda, the little fox will be yours. An evil light flashed in Hua Zhongxiang's eyes as he laughed lewdly. "Did you say that? At that time, the little fox demon will be mine. Ha ha." As he spoke, he withdrew a large sword and shouted loudly to Qin Yun, "I'm Violet Ice City's Hua Zhongxiang, and I'm at the 3rd level of the mysterious immortal realm. You injured the people of my Purple Ice Sacred City and even stole the fox demon that we caught. Quickly hand it over with both hands and kneel down to apologize to us. I will spare your life." Seeing that Hua Zhongxiang was full of confidence and gave off a terrifying aura as he spoke, everyone let out a sigh of relief because they did not have to cut off an arm. Uncle Hua is really powerful. He scared that guy so much that he didn't dare to move. That's right. That guy only knows how to sneak attack and injure Big Brother Fan. I'm just afraid that he's hiding in that broken stone building. The defense of that broken stone building isn't weak. Many people were whispering to each other. Hua Zhongxiang shouted at Qin Yun again. "Did you hear what I just said? Hurry up and do as I say, or I'll make you wish you were dead." Just as he finished speaking, he discovered that Qin Yun's body suddenly became blurry and then disappeared. It was the afterimage left behind by Qin Yun. Hua Zhongxiang immediately knew that Qin Yun had already left his original place. Because his speed was too fast, coupled with his superb movement technique, he left behind a shadow there. Xiao! A sharp whistling sound of the wind suddenly came. Everyone saw a flame penetrate Hua Zhongxiang's body. Hua Zhongxiang didn't even have time to move, and his chest was penetrated by a bowl-sized hole. Hiss! More than 100 people suddenly sucked in a breath of cold air. Their bodies trembled, and they did not dare to speak. Hua Zhongxiang's body looked like a strong purple armor, but his body was still penetrated. Everyone just saw a flame shot out and did not see Qin Yun's body. At this time, Qin Yun returned to his previous position, standing in front of the floating cloud pagoda's door. Hua Zhongxiang was terrified to the extreme. If he had been stabbed in the head just now, he would have died without a doubt. The sun-suppressing divine arrow is a very strong divine tool. Qin Yun also felt that kind of strong penetrating power just now. "Uncle Hua, are you okay?" Fan Kylie shouted in shock. "No, I'm not dead." Hua Zhongxiang was so scared that he broke out in cold sweat. The others can leave after cutting off one of their arms. The people of Purple Ice Sacred City want to cut off their legs. Qin Yun said again, "Fan Kylie can't leave." No one else was willing. Cutting off an arm would require a lot of energy to grow out. After Hua Zhongxiang recovered from his shock, he said angrily, "Don't be arrogant. I don't think you dare to kill us, because you are afraid of our purple ice sacred city's revenge. If you have the guts, come and kill me." Just as he finished speaking, Qin Yun suddenly threw the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Boom! The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew out and penetrated Hua Zhongxiang's head, producing a burst of explosion. Hua Zhongxiang's upper body exploded into sparks. Qin Yun waved his hand, and the sun-suppressing divine arrow returned to his hand. Fan Kaili and the other core disciples of Purple Ice Sacred City looked at their trembling legs and felt a chill run down their spines. Suddenly, Fan Kaili's magic mirror vibrated. He quickly took it out and saw the name on the magic mirror. He quickly shouted, "Young Master Bai, quickly come over. Uncle Hua has been killed. We're going over right now." A man's voice came from the magic mirror. It was filled with surprise and anger. Not long after, a handsome young man dressed in white appeared in the distance. He held a golden sword in his hand. After he arrived, he saw the lower half of Hua Zhongxiang's body on the ground. "It's him. The weapon in that guy's hand is very strong. It should be a king-grade immortal tool. Young Master Bai, you must be careful." Fan Kaili felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders as he pointed at Qin Yun and shouted. When everyone saw young Master Bai arrive, they all heaved a long sigh of relief, because they all knew that the golden sword in young Master Bai's hand was a holy sword. "You actually dared to kill someone from my Purple Ice Sacred City. Are you courting death?" Young Master Bai spoke as he charged towards Qin Yun and stabbed with his sword. Qin Yun promptly brandished the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand to block. It struck the golden sword and produced a loud bang sound. Young Master Bai was at the third level of the mysterious immortal realm. He felt that with a holy tool in his hand, he could even kill a fifth-level mysterious immortal. But just now, the holy sword was hit, and it seemed like it was about to be broken. Young Master Bai thrusted his sword, but it was blocked by Qin Yun. He was so scared that he quickly retreated. The hand that was holding the sword slightly trembled. This is my Purple Ice Sacred City's territory. You killed my Purple Ice Sacred City's people here. You can't escape." Young Master Bai's voice was filled with fear as he shouted, "Fifth brother, what happened?" On the snowy ground, a woman wearing a purple dress suddenly appeared. She treaded on the snow and looked very beautiful. The person who arrived is Bai Shuangyan. "Shuangyan, quickly join hands with me and kill that person." Young Master Bai shouted. Bai Shuangyan saw that Qin Yun looked somewhat familiar from afar. When she approached, she was immediately startled. Qin Yun actually came to Purple Ice Sacred City and even had a conflict with her fifth brother. "Young Master Qin, why are you here? What exactly happened?" Bai Shuangyan is also a Xian immortal. She saw that Qin Yun's body is releasing Xian immortal energy and did not feel surprised. "You asked them." Qin Yun pointed at them and said coldly, "Shuangyan, you know him?" Young Master Bai said very angrily, "He is the guy who killed Wu Zhongxiang." Bai Shuangyan bit her lips and said in low voice, "Fifth brother, he is Qin Yun." Qin Yun. Hearing these two words, young Master Bai's expression immediately changed. He was originally very angry, but now his hands cannot help but tremble. As for the others, when they heard these two words, they became even more scared and their faces turned deathly pale. They almost couldn't stand steadily. The person who destroyed Great Desert Sacred City's sun altar is Qin Yun. Although these two words cannot be spread on the Devil Mirror, all the major powers already know about this matter. Not only Qin Yun destroyed the sun altar, he also has a very strong sun fairy and a fox inscription beast. The most dreadful thing is that Qin Yun's hammer destroyed many sacred tools and even smashed Xiao Tianshu to death. Kacha! Cracks suddenly appeared on the sacred sword in young Master Bai's hand. It actually shattered. "Fifth brother, what is going on?" Bai Shuangyan's face was serious as she asked. Young Master Bai looked at Fan Kaili and shouted, "What's going on?" Fan Kaili was scared out of his wits. He never imagined that the person who saved the little fox was actually the amazing person who destroyed the sun altar of the great desert holy city. His whole body trembled as he told Bai Shuangyin everything that had happened. Young Master Qin, this matter was our fault first. I apologize to you on their behalf. After Bai Shuangyin finished listening, she coldly looked at Fan Kaili and the others, then walked towards Qin Yun and softly apologized. Make them break their own legs and scram. Qin Yun said expressionlessly, Bai Shuangyin, I didn't kill them. I'm giving you face, right? Bai Shuangyin gritted her teeth and said, breaking their legs is not good for you. We might as well compensate you with something. What do you have? Qin Yun sneered. 5 inner core fragments. Bai Shuangyin said, although I don't have it in my hands, I can ask the city lord. He will definitely give it. Also, there are 3 divine fruits. Qin Yun said, good. Let your city lord deliver it. Yes, I will use my sacred tools as collateral. Bai Shuangyin said, took out her 2 sacred swords and handed them to Qin Yun. Qin Yun took them and said, if your city lord doesn't come, these 2 sacred swords can be exchanged for a lot of good things. He will definitely come, Bai Shuangyin said, then looked at young Master Bai and the others and lightly shouted, still not leaving. Wait, others can leave, but not Fan Kaili. Qin Yun said and used piercing mountain and splitting earth finger on Fan Kaili. Boom! Fan Kaili was terrified. After being hit, his whole body immediately exploded. Bai Xiaohu was beaten so miserably because of Fan Kaili. Qin Yun would never let him go. Young Master Bai and Bai Shuangyin were scared to the point that their hearts jumped. Others also did not dare to breathe. You can go. Qin Yun finished speaking, took the 2 sacred swords, returned to the floating cloud pagoda, and closed the door. Bai Shuangyin sighed, took out the magic mirror, and contacted the Purple Ice City Lord, then quickly returned to Purple Ice Sacred City. Chapter 1411. Changes in Purple Ice City, Shuangyin. Do we need to be afraid of this bastard Qin Yun? This guy is just a dying man. He has been targeted by the Dao Yang Divine Sect. He definitely won't live long. Young Master Bai said unhappily. A ruthless look appeared in his eyes. Let's go back and let Father come and kill him with his own hands. Your father is the city master of Purple Ice Sacred City. He knows better than me how terrifying Qin Yun is. He was the one who warned us not to form enmity with Qin Yun. Bai Shuangyin snorted and said, don't tell me this is not your fault? Fan Kaili caught a little fox demon and actually hit it himself. He even abused the little fox demon in all kinds of ways. He deserves to die. Young Master Bai did not speak. He indeed did not understand the ins and outs of the matter and was in a hurry to act. Bai Shuangyin said again, Fan Kaili secretly hid such a good Xian immortal beast and even abused it. This is not the style of our Purple Ice Sacred City. Your father should have told you that if you want to subdue beasts, it is best to use soft methods. Look at this. In order to capture his own little fox demon, Fan Kaili has mobilized the people recruited by our Purple Ice Sacred City. It's one thing for him to die, but Hu Zhongxiang has also died, and your holy sword has been destroyed. And now, in order to appease Qin Yun's anger, we have to compensate him. And all of this was caused by Fan Kaili to take back his little fox demon. After young Master Bai heard this, he gritted his teeth and said, this Fan Kaili is truly a bastard. But Qin Yun also deserves to die. He is just a Xian immortal of a mortal desolate. We sacred desolate people should not be afraid of him. Fifth brother, your father should have told you not to be rash, to think carefully, to distinguish the pros and cons, to avoid suffering a great loss. Bai Shuangyin said, but you turn a deaf ear. Bai Shuangyin said, and this guy Qin Yun still wants to compensate us for the core fragments and divine fruits. Why is he doing this? Young Master Bai is very unsatisfied. But my holy sword was destroyed. Young Master Bai was very unconvinced. He even killed 2 of our Xian immortals. If this matter gets out, others will definitely laugh at our Purple Ice Sacred City. Bai Shuangyin sneered and said, fine, let your father bring people to capture Qin Yun. If you're afraid of being laughed at by others and want to deal with Qin Yun, then you should be prepared for his revenge. This matter was originally our Purple Ice Sacred City's fault. It was our people who attacked his stone building and provoked him first. It's already not bad that I can bring this group of people back. Young Master Bai snorted angrily. If I were father, I would bring the strongest people in Purple Ice Sacred City to kill them, destroy that lousy stone building, and capture Qin Yun alive to exchange for divine runes from the Dao Yang Divine Gate. Bai Shuangyan silently shook her head and continued to rush back to the city. In a hall in Purple Ice Sacred City, a middle-aged man wearing a purple robe sat in the seat of honor. As he listened to Bai Shuangyan's story, his face gradually became gloomy. Young Master Bai wanted to say something, but when he saw the anger on his father's face, he swallowed his words. After Bai Shuangyan finished speaking, the Purple Ice City Lord suddenly disappeared from the throne and appeared in front of young Master Bai in the blink of an eye. "Ha!" The Purple Ice City Lord slapped his son, sending him flying into a bead. "Father," young Master Bai's mouth is full of blood, fear, and anger. "You almost caused me to die. Without my permission, you are not allowed to leave this villa." Purple Ice City Lord slightly gasped for breath and said coldly, "Why are we afraid of that bastard? He is just a person who is about to die. If the Dao Yang Divine Gate targets him, he will undoubtedly die. No matter how powerful he is, can he fight against a super sect that stands tall in the Divine Desolate?" Young Master Bai shouted, "Why don't we take this opportunity to capture him and claim credit from the Dao Yang Divine Gate?" Purple Ice Sacred City Lord said angrily, "What do you know? No matter how strong the Dao Yang Divine Gate is, it can only be tyrannical in the Divine Desolate. Could he really send those divine generals down? At most, they can only send immortal emperors from the Sacred Desolate. But as long as Qin Yun goes to the immortal Xian Desert or the Purple Ice Sacred City to hide, what can those immortal emperors do? Also, the Sacred Desolate sent several immortal kings to capture Qin Yun. Guess what happened? They are all dead. This immortal Desolate is not as weak as we thought. Otherwise, the altar in the Great Desert Sacred City would not have been torn down." Bai Shuangyan nodded and said, "With the same cultivation, no one is Qin Yun's match. Moreover, this guy's growth speed is very fast. As long as he becomes a 9th level Xian Immortal, it will be a piece of cake for him to tear down our Purple Ice Sacred City's altar." Purple Ice City Lord sighed and said, "This is what I am worried about. Now that the world extermination is approaching, the sun is changing, and all kinds of creatures in the immortal Desolate are rapidly becoming stronger. This guy Qin Yun, not only is he powerful, he is also from the Inscription Profound sect. He will definitely be able to obtain a large amount of resources. Becoming a 9th level Xian Immortal is only a matter of 1 or 2 years. If we become enemies with Qin Yun, we might all die here. City Lord, you should personally go and talk to Qin Yun to resolve the conflict. That day, I offered to lend him a saint tool, so he gave me face. Otherwise, we would have all been killed by him," Bai Shuangyan said. At this time, inside the Purple Ice Sacred City Sun altar, a very strong spatial fluctuation appeared. After feeling this spatial fluctuation, the Purple Ice City Lord's expression slightly changed. He said in a low voice, "The altar has opened. Could it be that someone has teleported over?" Then he took out the magic mirror and contacted the elders inside the altar. Soon, he learned of the situation. Elder Wu suddenly rushed in and shouted, "City Lord, the higher-ups have sent people over. There are a total of 6 9th level Xian Immortals. All of them are combat type." "I know." Purple Ice City Lord's expression became gloomy. "The higher-ups suddenly sent people over and did not discuss with us beforehand. It seems that they're dissatisfied with us and want to send people to replace us." Young Master Bai said in a low voice, "That is because Father is too weak and afraid of this guy Qin Yun. It is normal for you to be replaced by others." "Shut up." The City Lord of Purple Ice City roared and raised his palm to hit him. Elder Wu quickly stopped him and said, "City Lord, let's quickly go and welcome those 6 people." Purple Ice City Lord snorted and was about to go out when he sensed several auras. "They are here," Bai Shuangyan said in a low voice. The people who walked into the hall are 6 very young men. They are all wearing battle armor, and their bodies are emitting an arrogant aura. With a glance, one can tell that they are 9th-level Xian immortals with very strong battle strength. "Bai Wu, I heard that you are not willing to capture that Qinyan, right?" A man wearing golden battle armor said. "From today onwards, this purple ice sacred city will be taken over by me, Lung Wan Quan." "I don't accept," Bai Wu said with a frown. "My purple ice sacred city has just started. Moreover, when I came here, my main goal was to subdue the inscription beast." Sectmaster and the others also said not to complicate matters. Elder Wu also said, "You can capture Qinyan, but that is your business. We were sent here to subdue the inscription beast." Lung Wanquang looked at young master by whose face is swollen and said, "What's going on?" "I am just teaching my son a lesson," Bai Wu said indifferently. "I am still the city lord. If you take over this city, then I can only take the people I recruited and leave." Lung Wanquang looked at young Master Bai and said, "Why were you beaten?" "It's all because of my father." Young Master Bai did not dare to continue. "Speak, I will protect you," Lung Wanquang said in a loud voice. Young Master Bai told Lung Wanquang everything that had happened. After Lung Wanquang finished listening, he laughed loudly and said, "Bai Wu, you are truly a coward. Little brother, quickly take us to find Qinyan. I really didn't expect that just as we arrived, Qinyan would deliver himself to our doorstep. Yes, big brother Lung, you are truly wise and mighty. We are from Sacred Desolate. We should not be afraid of Qinyan." Young Master Bai is wild with joy and said, "Let's go. We will capture Qinyan and let the entire Immortal Desolate know. In this way, we will be able to recruit even more heroes." Lung Wanquang glanced at Bai Wu and the others and said with sneer, "Wait until I capture Qinyan, then you can obediently abdicate. Rest assured, I will take good care of your son and make him the core of Purple Ice Sacred City." Finished speaking, these few 9th-layer Xian immortals from Sacred Desolate brought along young Master Bai and left Purple Ice Sacred City and rushed towards Xinyan's location. Elder Wu somewhat anxiously said, "City Master, what should we do? Aren't those people above, too, disrespecting you?" Bai Wu faintly smiled. "No problem. Qinyan will help me get rid of them. Let's follow them. I want to capture that stupid son of mine." Bai Wu chased after them. Bai Shuangyan and Elder Wu followed closely behind. After they left, they saw many people leaving the city one after another, saying that they want to follow and watch a good show. Qinyan is in the first floor of Floating Cloud Pagoda. He doesn't know that a few powerful warriors from Sacred Desolate are coming to capture him. Bai Xiaohu is lying on a soft cushion. Her body is covered with a quilt. She is recuperating. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Qinyan opened the door and saw Xian Rujing wearing a black robe and white mask. After Xian Rujing came in, she saw a woman lying in a corner and realized that she is the little fox demon Qinyan mentioned to her before. "Yu is still not here?" Qinyan asked. "Not yet. She should be here soon. We will go out to meet her when the time comes." Xian Rujing took off her mask, looked at the runes on the golden wall all around, and said with frown, "Where did this stone building come from? These runes on the wall give me a very familiar feeling." At this time, Bai Xiaohu woke up and saw Xian Rujing's elegant and exceptional face. She is completely stunned. "Hello, big sister," Bai Xiaohu said in low voice. "Hello. Rest well and heal your injuries." Xian Rujing walked over, stroked Bai Xiaohu's head, and smiled. Soon after, Qinyan closed the door, brought Xian Rujing to another corner, stood on the round disc, and teleported to 20th floor. After arriving at 20th floor, Qinyan said, "Rujing, look at the runes on the walls all around. Do you know what kind of runes they are?" Chapter 14:12. Sacred Desolate Warrior Xian Rujing looked at those runes and tried very hard to recall but she cannot remember anything. She shook her head and said with sigh, I don't remember. When I first saw these runes, I was still a young girl. I don't know how many years have passed. I only have a vague impression. If you can't remember, then don't think about it. Qin Yun laughed. Later, when we go to Divine Desolate, we will clarify this matter. Divine Desolate? I don't know if the sun will fall or not when we go to Divine Desolate. Xian Rujing is still looking at those runes. If I cooperate with a very strong god, there should be no problem, Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing arrived at the center and looked at a table that looks like an altar. She saw a small golden statue and said with smile, Did you carve it yourself? That hammer should be 9-sun divine hammer, right? You are really narcissistic. You carved a small statue for yourself and even placed it here. I know you are handsome, but you don't need to look at your own statue all day, right? Besides, wouldn't it be better to make a big one? Qin Yun walked over with smile and patted Xian Rujing's butt. Xian Rujing jumped in fright, then gnashed her jade teeth and glared at Qin Yun. It looks like she wants to bite him. Where did you get this stone building? Xian Rujing touched her, but that was patted by Qin Yun and asked. I picked it up, Qin Yun said with smile. Xian Rujing glared at Qin Yun. Her expression is filled with disbelief. She curled her lips and said, This stone building's defense is very strong. It is not an ordinary thing. Even if you picked it up, it would not be easy for you to control it, right? I indeed picked it up. Qin Yun suddenly stopped smiling. He sat on the altar and picked up the small statue. He began narrating how he obtained Floating Cloud Pagoda. Xian Rujing found out that he obtained it from a divine mountain, and it looks like an altar. Her expression is filled with amazement, and she sank into contemplation. Goddess Rujing, I did not carve this statue myself. It has always been here. Qin Yun's expression gradually became solemn as he spoke. He looked at Xian Rujing and said, My past life was immortal King Fuyun. Maybe immortal King Fuyun had another past life. Maybe it was from Divine Desolate. Do you think this is possible? Yes. Xian Rujing promptly nodded her head. Her elegant jade-like face is filled with doubt as she said, Now we can be sure that your past life's immortal King Fu Yun also suffered heavenly punishment, and it is the same for you in this life. That means that you have been punished by the heavens in every life. Perhaps you have not only experienced 2 lives, but 3 or even more. Xian Rujing hammered Qin Yun's chest and said with frown, You bastard, why is your whole body filled with mysteries? You made me so interested in you. If you are a very strong god in the divine wasteland, then you must be one of those ancient gods, or even from the previous era. Maybe we had a dispute in the past. Qin Yun said with smile. Impossible. I have never met such a lowly guy like you in my memory. Xian Rujing curled her lips. Qin Yun extended his hand and pinched Xian Rujing's cheek. Xian Rujing let out a strange cry, slapped away Qin Yun's hand and cursed. You bastard, why are you becoming more and more clumsy? I'm telling you, I'm the pure and clean ice goddess. Don't you dare touch me. Don't pretend. Who do you think you are to me? You even wanted to screw me before to obtain my sacred sun spirit vein. Qin Yun waved his hand with mischievous smile. Hey! Xian Rujing stamped her foot and spat in low voice. You bastard, don't talk nonsense about these things. Goddess Rujing, I'll let you obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. How can you treat me like this? Qin Yun said in a bad mood. Little brother Xiao Yun, I know my mistake. Xian Rujing felt that she was somewhat fierce towards Qin Yun just now and immediately became charming and gentle again. All right. You are an ice mother tigress. You won't be able to pretend to be gentle for long. Qin Yun said with smile. It's good that you know. Xian Rujing also sat on the altar, took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and said with charming smile, I have to say, you are truly skilled. If it were not for you, me, and you would not have been able to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. She finished speaking, pinched Qin Yun's handsome face, and said with sweet smile, As expected of my little brother Xiao Yun, if we have the opportunity to go to Divine Desolate in the future, I guarantee that I will protect you. Oh, that's right. I'll let you obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Shouldn't you show some gratitude? Don't you have the snow goddess totem? I am very interested in this totem, Qin Yun said with smile. This, I cannot give it to you now, but rest assured, I guarantee that I will give it to you. I will keep my word, Xian Rujing said. All right, I believe you, Qin Yun said with smile. Also, you said that you will introduce star gods to me. When will you let me contact star gods? Xian Rujing spread out her lily-white palm, closed her eyes, and released very strong mental power from her body. Not long after, a strand of faint golden thread condensed in her palm. This is a strand of my divine soul. It can let you communicate with star gods. It is best to do it at night. Xian Rujing handed over the strand of golden thread to Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out a soul-sealing pearl and stored the strand of divine soul inside. Xian Rujing said again, Star gods are rather flirtatious. They are that kind of perverted woman. You must pay attention to her. Don't let her instigate you to do bad things. Whether you can cooperate with her or not, it all depends on you. All right. Qin Yun stored away the soul-sealing pearl and asked, Is Star God not afraid of Dao Yang Divine Gate? She is afraid, but she is very courageous. Moreover, she likes to take risks. She is very rebellious. She always wants to fight against those rude and unreasonable formidable powers. I was implicated by her in Divine Desolate. Luckily, I was able to escape smoothly. Otherwise, my soul would have flown away and scattered. Xian Rujing is sitting on the altar. Her head is lowered. Her slender legs are swaying. She is faintly sighing. Qin Yun now understands why she is in such dire straits. It seems like she is very similar to me. Qin Yun is suddenly looking forward to cooperating with star gods. That's right. So I don't want you to follow her. Even though evil god is a bottom feeder, he is very afraid of death. So he is very cautious. But star gods are different. Maybe they will bring you even greater calamity. You have already brought a great calamity. Even if you follow star gods, you will not bring any greater calamity. Xian Rujing said with helpless expression. Bang! Floating cloud pagoda suddenly fiercely shook. Qin Yun said with smile. The calamity I brought has come. I asked the most beautiful ice and snow goddess of Divine Desolate to help me deal with it. Xian Rujing rolled her eyes, sighed, then walked towards the disc at the corner and yelled, Quickly come. After arriving at the first floor, Bai Xiaohu has already woken up. Young Master Qin, big sister. They are here. Bai Xiaohu's face is filled with worry. She said in low voice, It is my fault. I implicated young Master Qin. It's fine. Xian Rujing laughed. Big sister, I will deal with those bastards. Xian Rujing is a very high-level Xian immortal. Moreover, she is ice and snow goddess. After cultivating all kind of divine arts, her strength has become even stronger. Even if she doesn't use sun-suppressing divine arrow, she can still deal with those formidable Xian immortals. Qin Yun promptly informed Xian Rujing about the conflict earlier. He doubtfully muttered, Bai Shuangyin still has 2 holy swords in my hands. Now that they are attacking, doesn't mean they don't want those 2 holy swords anymore. Xian Rujing is standing beside a window, looking at those few young men wearing battle armor, and said, Those 6 guys are all from Sacred Desolate. They are wearing sacred tier armor. Even the weapons in their hands are sacred tools. That is Purple Ice City Master. Xian Rujing pointed at Bai Wu and said. Qin Yun looked over and saw that middle-aged man with wide face. He is wearing silver armor and is standing beside Bai Shuangyin and Elder Wu. They have a gloating expression on their face. Young Master Qin, the ones attacking the stone building are not us. Although they came from Purple Ice Sacred City's altar, they're not with us. Bai Shuangyin suddenly yelled. Boom! Floating Cloud Pagoda suffered another fierce attack. This time, it is Lung Wanquang who used a fiery red meteor hammer to attack. Lung Wanquang is indeed very strong, but no matter how strong he is far from being as strong as those immortal kings from before. Qin Yun's Floating Cloud Pagoda was attacked by those immortal kings using sacred tools earlier, but it is still intact. Qin Yun yelled from inside. Young Lady Bai, you have two holy swords with me. Young Master Qin, I am Purple Ice Sacred City's City Master Bai Wu. I will surely fulfill the conditions Shuangyin promised you before. I have brought the core fragments and divine fruits. Bai Wu yelled. Lung Wanquang furiously said, Shut up. I am Purple Ice Sacred City's City Master. Because he's unable to break through Qin Yun's pagoda, Lung Wanquang is very angry. On the way here, young Master Bai boasted about him. And now there are thousands of people looking at him. Yet he is unable to break through a seemingly dilapidated stone building. Xian Rujing said in low voice. It seems like Sacred Desolate sent someone to replace Bai Wu. Lung Wanquang yelled towards Floating Cloud Pagoda. Qin Yun, quickly come out. What kind of man are you hiding inside? Aren't you very capable? You destroyed Great Desert Sacred City's altar? You even killed Qiao Tianxiu. If you have the guts, come out and fight me. To tell you the truth, I was entrusted by Dao Yang Divine Sect's great deity to capture you. I want to send your soul to Divine Desolate through the altar. You destroyed Dao Yang Divine Sect's altar and angered many formidable deities of Dao Yang Divine Sect. If you obediently cooperate, maybe you can avoid the punishment of having your soul scattered. Otherwise, if you are captured, your soul will be tortured for 10,000 years. Qin Yun suddenly opened the door. Boom! A flaming meteor hammer ferociously rushed over. Although the door was open, there was a spirit formation that blocked the meteor hammer. The meteor hammer was fixed on the door. Qin Yun quickly walked over, grabbed the chain on the meteor hammer, and vigorously pulled it. This caused the spectators to cry out in alarm, because Qin Yun wants to snatch the meteor hammer. Quickly come and help me. Lung Wanquang also did not expect that Qin Yun would actually want to snatch his sacred tool. Soon after, 5 other 9th-layer Xian immortal warriors from Sacred Desolate hastily walked over, grabbed the chain of the meteor hammer, and pulled it back. Xian Rujing suddenly walked over, grabbed the meteor hammer, and said to Qin Yun, Let go. After Qin Yun let go, Xian Rujing's lily-white hands suddenly flickered with many electric threads. Chapter 14:13. Different direction. Those people outside the door saw Qin Yun suddenly let go, and a beautiful woman came to talk to them. They are very surprised. They all thought that Xian Rujing is that little fox demon, so they subconsciously thought that she is very weak. But they did not expect that after Xian Rujing grabbed the chain, she poured in frantic tribulation thunder. The chain immediately burst with electric light, causing Lung Wanquang's group to twitch violently. Fortunately, they are all wearing sacred tier armors. After they poured in their power, the sacred tier armors immediately resisted the tribulation thunder. However, they can still sense that Xian Rujing's power is very strong. She was actually pulled away by 6 of them, who are 9th-layer upper immortals. Those guys have very strong saint tier armor. They're not easy to deal with. Xian Rujing said in low voice. Qin Yun walked over and together with Xian Rujing pulled the chain, then released a devouring power through the chain and started absorbing the power of Lung Wanquang's group. Ling Yuner controlled the devouring power to pass through the chain and lock onto Lung Wanquang's group. This way, it will not affect Xian Rujing. The chain is a part of the meteor hammer. Moreover, it is a sacred tool, so the energy inside is flowing very smoothly. Qin Yun can easily absorb the energy in a short while. Xian Rujing also knows that Qin Yun has nether sun. She cannot help but feel astonished after sensing the devouring power. That bastard. He is absorbing our power. Qin Yun quickly let go. Lung Wanquang loudly cursed. Qin Yun, quickly let go. You came to capture me. Moreover, you destroyed my pagoda. I will not let you off. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, Didn't you come from Sacred Desolate? Didn't you think you were very awesome? Quickly destroy this pagoda and capture me. Lung Wanquang now knows how difficult it is to deal with Qin Yun. He furiously said, You son of a bitch, scram out. Why are you hiding inside like a turtle? Qin Yun took out the Lion King cannon and handed it over to Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing also knows how to use the Lion King cannon. She took it and poured in her formidable Xian immortal power. She faintly smiled at Lung Wanquang, who was standing outside the door, and then released the Xian immortal power. It must be known that Xian Rujing cultivates divine arts. Moreover, she has a secret method to obtain divine liquid. She directly cultivates divine body and divine soul. Xian immortal power contains very weak divine power. Although her divine power was weak, it was able to bring her incomparably powerful strength in the immortal desolate. Boom! The ball of ice-cold white light shot by the Lion King cannon exploded on the bodies of Lung Wanquang and the others, giving rise to a bone-chilling wind. Lung Wanquang and the others were frozen into ice sculptures. At the same time, Qingyun also pulled the meteor hammer over. Seeing Qin Yun snatch a sacred artifact, the spectators in the distance let out exclamations. Bang! Lung Wanquang's armor exploded with a red light, knocking away the ice. He angrily said to Bai Wu, "Why didn't you help me earlier? It's useless even if I help. Besides, young Master Qin and I are not enemies." Bai Wu said indifferently, "I've said it before. Young Master Qin is very strong. It's not wise to make an enemy out of him." Qin Yun snatched the meteor hammer, waved it in his hand, and said with a smile, "You dare to be arrogant in front of me with just this bit of ability? Could it be that you don't know how Qiao Tianshu died? Ha ha ha. Qin Yun, don't be arrogant. Look at you. You are so scared by us that you don't dare to come out. If you have the guts, come out and take a few steps. I guarantee that I will beat you until you kneel and beg for forgiveness." Lung Wanquang laughed loudly and took out a large saber. Xian Rujing glanced at Qin Yun, then walked out. Suddenly a long rod that seems to be emitting white flame appeared in her hand. Qin Yun is somewhat startled. Xian Rujing is holding sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand, but the flame is white. Moreover, it is bringing along cold air. And his sun-suppressing divine arrow is red flame. Qin Yun followed behind Xian Rujing, waving the meteor hammer in his hand. Seeing Qin Yun come out, Lung Wanquang immediately flew over and arrived in front of Qin Yun and Xian Rujing in a blink. He brandished his saber and swept it horizontally. Xian Rujing's expression turned cold. Her lily-white hands suddenly became covered with frost and condensed into a thick layer of ice. She unexpectedly grabbed Lung Wanquang's sacred saber with her bare hands. This caused a large group of people to cry out in alarm. Uchi! The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Xian Rujing's hand that is emitting dense white flame fiercely stabbed towards Lung Wanquang. Lung Wanquang's armor sensed a very strong attack approaching and immediately released a very strong energy barrier. However, the sun-suppressing divine arrow in Xian Rujing's hand is even stronger. It is a divine tool. Moreover, it has absorbed a bit of divine power. Its might is even more dreadful. It very easily pierced through Lung Wanquang's body. Everyone knows that Lung Wanquang's armor is sacred tier armor, but now it has been easily pierced through. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Xian Rujing's hand is covered with white flame. It is impossible to see what it is. Everyone also thinks that it is a spear. Qin Yun suddenly took out by Shuangyin's two sacred swords, rushed over and slashed at Lung Wanquang. After Lung Wanquang's armor was pierced, it became damaged and lost its defense. Qin Yun slashed 2 times and chopped off Lung Wanquang's head. Then he chopped off Lung Wanquang's body from his waist. Xian Rujing took back the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Her ice-cold, beautiful eyes looked at those people rushing over. Hoo. Suddenly 5 white-haired women who look exactly the same as Xian Rujing appeared all around. They're the Snow Woman Immortals she summoned. After the Snow Woman Immortals appeared, their bodies transformed into white snow and coiled around those 5 young men wearing sacred tier armor. Xian Rujing also rushed over. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand stabbed 5 times and pierced through those 5 ninth layer Xian immortal soldiers. Bai Wu, father and son, as well as by Shuangyin and Elder Wu who are at the side. Now their faces are filled with fear. Their backs are drenched in sweat. They are all worried that Xian Rujing will suddenly attack them. Is that woman the Sun Fairy? Isn't she blonde? Bai Wu asked in low voice. Could it be Xiao Yuelon? Or Shimin Chuqian? It is not the Sun Fairy. It is also not Xiao Yuelon or Shimin Chuqian. Bai Shuangyan looked at Xian Rujing, this cold and elegant beauty whose face is as cold as frost. Her heart is filled with amazement. 6th layer Xian immortal soldiers who just arrived from Sacred Desolate. They brought many sacred tier equipment with them, but now they are all dead. Bai Wu promptly stored his stupid son inside a magic tool, then walked over to Qin Yun and said with smile, Young Master Qin, here are 5 inner core fragments and 5 divine fruits. He directly handed over these things to Qin Yun. He also turned a blind eye to the corpses on the ground. It is as if nothing happened. These are young Lady Bai's sacred swords. Qin Yun handed over the 2 sacred swords and said. Bai Shuangyan promptly walked over and took the 2 sacred swords. All right, we are even. We don't owe each other anything. Qin Yun said with smile. He can also see that this purple ice city master is scared to death. Bai Wu is very grateful to Qin Yun in his heart. If those 6 guys were not killed, he would have to give up his position as purple ice city master. Bai Wu also wants to make friends with Qin Yun, but he doesn't dare. So he didn't say anything and directly left. Other people also left. They are worried that they will be killed if they stay here. Xian Rujing looked at the corpses on the ground and said with smile, That city master is scared to death. He doesn't even dare to collect these guys' corpses. Even though their armors are damaged, they were made with many sacred tier materials. They're very good for me to refine cannon arrows. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, then stripped off the armors and stored them. Divine tool is indeed divine tool. It can easily poke a hole in a sacred tool. Xian Rujing sweetly smiled and said while playing with the sun-suppressing divine arrow, My sun-suppressing divine arrow has normal red flame. Qin Yun said, Oh, mine has white ice flame. It seems like it was influenced by me. Xian Rujing is very fond of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. She sighed and said, I have been in divine desolate for so many years, yet I could not find such a good divine tool. Little brother Xiao Yun, thank you so much. How are you going to thank me? After Qin Yun stripped off the armors, he released flame and burned the corpses. Little brother Xiao Yun, don't tell me you want big sister to devote her life to you? Xian Rujing said with charming smile. Even though I want to, Yuelon will not let me. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Divine Desolate's most beautiful ice and snow goddess. You are wrong. Yuelon will definitely agree. Xian Rujing said with slight anger. I don't believe it. At this time, she took out the magic mirror and said, Yu is outside. We should quickly go see her. Qin Yun let Bai Xiaohu continue healing inside the floating cloud pagoda. Then the floating cloud pagoda shrunk and followed Xian Rujing. They ran through this world of ice and snow and left the purple ice mountain range. After an hour, they left the purple ice mountain range and arrived at a dark green and verdant mountain outside. Yu is wearing black robe and mask. She is at the top of the mountain. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing arrived at the top of the mountain. Yu also took off her mask, revealing a cold and beautiful face. Everyone is fine. This is good. Yu's face showed a rare smile. My sun-suppressing divine arrow. Guide me this way. Qin Yun took out his sun-suppressing divine arrow that is emitting flames. His sun-suppressing divine arrow is floating in the air and pointing towards a certain direction. Yu's sun-suppressing divine arrow is emitting black flames. The direction it is pointing towards is different from Qin Yun's direction. And Xian Rujing's white flame, sun-suppressing divine arrow is pointing towards the same direction as Yu. Different direction? Qin Yun said with frown. How about this? We will accompany you first. Yu said, I don't feel at ease letting you go alone. Yuji contacted me before and told me to protect you. If anything happens to you, she will hate me to death. Xian Rujing said with charming smile. Yu, I see that you also want to protect little brother Xiao Yun, right? He let me obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He has done me a great favor. So what if I want to protect him? Yu curled her lips and said, No need. Divine arrow's mission should be rather special. I will go alone. You also have your own mission. You better hurry up and complete it. If you can't complete it, your life will be in danger. Qin Yun smiled at Yu. I can take care of myself. Yu, this guy is not allowed to enter Immortal Desolate, but he still came. We don't need to worry about him. Xian Rujing said with smile. All right, we will keep in touch. Yu thought about it and agreed to let Qin Yun go alone. Qin Yun nodded and stored the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Then he released by Xiaohu and asked Yu to make arrangements for her. Goodbye. Our devil mirror will keep in touch. Qin Yun soared into the sky and quickly flew high in the sky. Yu stood at the top of the mountain. Her expression is complicated as she looked at Qin Yun, who is far away. Only when she can no longer see him did she put on her mask and left with Xian Rujing. Chapter 14:14. Star God. After flying for more than half a day, Qin Yun only knew that he was still in the Earth state. Then he took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow again. After confirming that the direction was correct, he continued flying. From time to time, he would take out the compass to search for the floating cloud sky seal. He wanted to see if the other parts of the floating cloud sky seal were nearby. However, they were not nearby. They seemed to be further away. At night, Qin Yun flew in the night sky and looked at the vast expanse of stars in the sky. Countless stars were like floating luminous grains of sand in the sky, covering the entire sky. Xiaoyun, try to contact Star God, Ling Yun suddenly said. And Qin Yun quickly landed on a tall mountain below and took out the floating cloud pagoda. He sat cross-legged at the top of the floating cloud pagoda and looked at the stars in the sky. He discovered that there was also a teleportation array on the top floor of the floating cloud pagoda, which could teleport to the floors below. Can a wisp of divine soul in the soul sealing pearl really contact the star god? Qin Yun looked at the wisp of golden thread in the soul sealing pearl and felt that it was somewhat inconceivable. After all, it was only a wisp of divine soul, but it had the power to communicate with the divine wilderness star god. He held the soul-sealing bead, closed his eyes, and immersed his divine sense into the golden thread. With his eyes closed, he did not know that many of the stars in the sky had suddenly moved rapidly. However, Ling Yun had discovered it and shouted in surprise. Xiao Yun, there are many stars moving in the starry sky. Could it be that they are setting up a formation? Qin Yun opened his eyes, and indeed, he saw many stars forming a halo in the sky. Many of the stars within the halo were slowly moving. Seeing this scene, Qin Yun was alarmed. A moving star rune? Dynamic runes? Seeing the huge star array that suddenly appeared in the sky, Qin Yun suddenly received a great inspiration. In the past, most of the runes he carved would not move, as if they were dead. Only when the energy flowed through the runes would there be energy movement inside. But now that he saw runes that could move, he suddenly had a strange idea. If he could create some living runes, wouldn't their power become very strong? Just as he was deep in thought, the soul-sealing pearl in his hand suddenly trembled. Then, a light and pleasant female voice came out. It was very gentle and beautiful. Little sister Bingxue, is that you? The woman asked. No, I am Qin Yun. Qin Yun said. He is sure that the woman with the charming and captivating voice is the star god. Ah, man, you're a man? What did you do to Sister Bingxue? Star god asked hurriedly. She introduced me to you. Qin Yun quickly said. I didn't do anything to her. Liar, you didn't do anything to her. So why would she trust you so much that she would let you contact me? The star god said in a displeased tone, her voice revealing a kind of charm that could make one's bones go soft. Qin Yun said, I helped her obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. In order to repay me, she recommended me to contact Lord Star God and cooperate with you. The star god giggled and said, Little man, you are quite capable. You actually let my sister obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Quickly tell me, did she use her body to seduce you, and that's why you helped her? No. Qinyan finally understands why Xian Rujing is worried that he would collude with Star God. This Star God is truly evil. I don't believe it. The Star God laughed tenderly. Ice and Snow Goddess is ice cold like an ice mother tigress. She even bit me a few times. We can be considered as life and death friends. That's why we are friends with great contradiction. After Qinyan explained, he said with smile, to be honest, she's like an ice mother tigress. I am really afraid that she will eat me up until not even my bones are left. Ha ha ha. Little brother, are you not afraid of telling her? Star God laughed very happily. Of course not. Qinyan said with mischievous smile. Sister Star God, you are her good sister, right? Then you must know many of her scandals. Can you share them with me? No problem. But you must tell me, did she say anything bad about me in front of you? Star God feels that Qinyan is very amusing and said with gentle smile. She said you are very evil, perverted, and very flirtatious. Qinyan said, I am indeed very evil. Little brother, are you afraid of me? Star God's voice is very gentle and charming. Although he cannot see her, Qinyan cannot help but let his imagination run wild. No, it's not like I have never met a female rogue. Qinyan said with smile. Tell me honestly, is there really nothing going on between you and little sister Xue Xue? If you did not have good feelings, she would not have exposed her identity as Ice Goddess and would not have let you contact me. Star God asked. She forcefully kissed me. Qinyan sighed. Star God heard this and laughed incessantly. She is still the same cold, stuffy, and flirtatious. Sister Star God, you must be very beautiful. You won't do anything bad to me, right? I am an honest person. Qinyan curled his lips and said, I'm also an honest girl. I won't harm you. The Star God laughed. Besides, how can I harm you? You helping little sister Xue Xue is the same as helping me. Qinyan also knows that Xian Rujing has fallen to such a state because she was implicated by Star God. Star God said again, I have never cooperated with a man. Moreover, I don't want to cooperate with a man. However, you are the man who was forcefully kissed by little sister Xue Xue. Moreover, you helped her obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. It must be very interesting. I want to see what she sees in you. She actually forcefully kissed you. If you are a good man, I will snatch you away. Big Sister Star God, I cooperated with Evil God before. Qinyan suddenly said, Oh, Evil God? He is at the bottom of the God list. Then why don't you cooperate with him now? Star God asked. I destroyed the Dao Yang Divine Gates altar. The Evil God was afraid of being implicated by me, so we decided to part ways. Qinyan said with smile, Big Sister Star God, aren't you afraid of being implicated by me? Star God did not immediately speak. She is clearly startled. After being silent for a moment, Star God's charming voice came again and again. She said with smile, Xue Xue is indeed worthy of being my good little sister. She sent me, such a clown. Good. Very good. Dao Yang Divine Gate is my great enemy. Big Sister Star God, I still have 17 layers Sun Altar. Qinyan said with smile, How about I change it to Star God Altar? Moreover, I have Star Lord Inscription Spirit. I am also an Inscription Master. Very good. Find a safe place and stack up the 17-layer Sun Altar. Then place the strand of Remnant Soul in your hand at the top of the altar. Star God is very happy. She said with smile, Big Sister Star God, I picked up a very special altar. I'm also not sure if it is an altar or not. Qinyan thought for a moment and decided to tell Star God about floating cloud pagoda. He earnestly said, Big Sister Star God, I picked up a very special altar. I'm also not sure if it is an altar or not. He told Star God about floating cloud pagoda in detail. After Star God finished listening, she seems to be pondering. After a while, she said, Xiao Yun, take out the 17-layer Sun altar first. I will transform it into Star God altar. Then I will go take a look at your floating cloud pagoda. You can come over? Qinyan said in amazement. I can send a strand of divine soul over It can also transform into my appearance, but it won't last long." Star God giggled and said, "When the time comes, you will be able to see me." Qin Yun stored away floating cloud pagoda, then flew to a distant flat area. He quickly took out the sun altar and stacked it layer by layer. After stacking, he released the strand of divine soul from the soul sealing pearl. Most of the stars in the sky are now converging on the top of the altar. Qin Yun now knows how awesome gods are. They can actually easily control the stars of the immortal world and form a very large star formation in the sky. After the large star formation on the sky above the altar finished condensing, suddenly a rainbow-like light beam shot down and attacked the altar. The sun altar was originally golden, but now it was gradually turning white, and it was also gradually becoming smaller. The entire structure of the altar seems to have suddenly changed. The altar kept shrinking until it became only 1 meter tall. It is very small. Even though it still has 17 layers, it has shrunk a lot. When Qin Yun ran over, he saw a woman wearing light red long skirt appear on the altar. Although this woman is very beautiful, she is not a breathtaking beauty. However, her face is intelligent and beautiful. Her beautiful eyes are overflowing with charm. Her face has a faint smile, making her very charming and moving. This is the illusory image of Star God's divine soul. After Qin Yun clearly saw Star God's appearance, he suddenly stopped in shock, because the appearance of the woman on the altar is exactly the same as Yu Shutian. However, Yu Shutian does not have soul-stealing charm like Star God. On the contrary, she is very pure and elegant, giving people the feeling that she is the daughter of a humble family. Xiao Yun, quickly come over. Big sister won't eat you. Star God's charming eyes are like silk. Her smile is like a flower. She saw Qin Yun is looking at her in a daze. She chuckled and said, "You are really something. You are so captivated by Big Sister. How will you do great things later?" Qin Yun walked over and said with frown, "Big Sister Star God, you look exactly the same as my friend. Her name is Yu Shutian. She is the Star Fairy Princess." Xiao Tian, you know her? Star God is somewhat amazed, then said with smile, "She is a strand of my divine soul. It can be considered as my avatar. She has her own consciousness." So you're saying that she is you and you are her? Qin Yun also knows that this is a very peculiar existence. Immortal spirit Snow is like this. It is Ice Goddess' hidden avatar. Indeed, if one day my soul is scattered in divine desolate, I can be reborn in immortal desolate through Xiao Tian. Star God pouted coquettishly and said, "Did you bully Xiao Tian? She can be considered as my little sister now." "Of course not. She is my good friend. It was me who helped her awaken the Star Fairy inheritance." Qin Yun laughed, and then told Star God about how he met Yu Shutian. Star God's shapely eyebrows are slightly creased. She looks very flirtatious. She muttered in low voice, "It seems like we are truly fated. This is not an ordinary coincidence. Quickly take me to see your floating cloud pagoda." Qin Yun took out the floating cloud pagoda, then brought the Star God altar inside and directly teleported to 20th floor. In order to clarify the mysteries of this floating cloud pagoda and his past life, Qin Yun told the Star God about his son's soul and Nether Sunday. He also told the Star God about the heavenly punishment and the enemy of the heavenly Tao. The Star God had been very shocked at first, but after that, that charming face of hers gradually grew serious. She is staring at the statue on the altar without saying anything. Clearly she has seen through something. Suddenly the image on the Star God altar gradually became indistinct. Qin Yun yelled, "Big Sister Star God, what happened to you?" Chapter 14:15. Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. After the image of the Star God disappeared, the soul-sealing pearl trembled slightly and said, "Xiao Yun, put the Star God altar here and replace the original altar. Once I'm safe, I'll merge the Star God altar with your floating cloud pagoda. Combine them?" Will it become even more powerful? Asked Qin. Of course I will. I don't know exactly what will happen. In short, it will be good for both you and me. The star god said, the people from the Dao Yan divine sect have already killed their way into my territory. I'll run first. Hey, star god sis, about the origin of this floating cloud pagoda and that statue, what's going on? Qin asked hurriedly. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know once I find out. Anyway, this is a very important matter, and I can't speak carelessly without understanding it clearly. All right, tell Sister Bing Xue that we had a great time working together. The previously serious star god suddenly laughed tenderly. You tell her I want to snatch her man. Sister star god, what's your name? Qin asked. Me? Her name is Sweet Star. Star deity giggled mischievously. Let's not talk about it. I'm running for my life. The next time you want to contact me, just shout at the altar at night. If it's convenient for me, I'll appear to meet you. Oh, then Sister Sweet Star, you have to be careful. Qin said. I know, I'm already used to it. The star god said with a smile. Qin looked at the shrinking 17-level star god altar and sighed. He was worried that the star god would be killed by the people from the Dao Yan divine sect. After all, it wasn't easy for him to work with a more capable god. If he was killed, he wouldn't know where to find another god. He put away the floating cloud pagoda and continued to fly in the direction of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. On the road, he took out the devil mirror and contacted Xian Rujing. Sister Rujing, I have cooperated with Star God, Qin said with smile. The process can be considered pleasant. She said she wants to steal your man. Humph, this slut is still the same as before. Oh, that's right. Did she speak ill of me? Xian Rujing promptly asked. She said that you are still as cold and sultry as before. Qin said with smile. Xian Rujing lightly groaned. Hearing that Star God is being chased by Dao Yan divine sect, she suddenly became worried. Xian Rujing and you are going in the same direction. It is unknown if their final destination is the same or not. They were now flying in the air, heading in the direction indicated by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin put away the magic mirror and sped up. He wanted to reach the sun-suppressing divine arrow as soon as possible. The sky is about to brighten, but Qin is still flying in the sky. He took out the vibrating magic mirror and saw that Xiao Yuelon is contacting him. He immediately accepted and asked, Yuelon, what's the matter? Xiao Yun, where are you? I met a very strong Xian immortal. That bastard has a sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xiao Yuelon said. Long family's Xian immortal? Qin frowned and told Xiao Yuelon about his mission. After Xiao Yuelon heard this, she knew that Qin matter is very important. She said, Xiao Yun, go do your thing first. All right, are Chu Qian and Xiaoling with you? Qin asked. No, the two of them went back to the Moon Palace. We saved a heavily injured inscription beast and brought them back to the Moon Palace to recuperate. Xiao Yuelon said, I am in a city of Earth Province. There is a sacred land nearby called Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Qin had heard of the Earth Province's sacred land. It was beside a blue river, and it was an endless forest. The leaves were blue, and at night, they would turn dark blue. The trees in the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest are several hundred meters tall. They are very huge, and the bark of the trees is also blue. After Qin determined the direction of the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest through the magic mirror, he is secretly astonished, because his sun-suppressing divine arrow is pointing towards the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Yuelon, my sun-suppressing divine arrow, is guiding me to the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Qin said, Really? That's great. I am in the city outside the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. It is the Lan family's Blue Heaven City. Xiao Yuelon laughed tenderly and said, That guy Lan Bufan. It seems like you killed him, right? Qin laughed and did not say anything. After he cut off contact with Xiao Yuelon, he began looking up information regarding the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. The Blue Leaf Sacred Forest is an Earth Immortal level sacred land. Above Xian Immortal is Earth Immortal. Above Earth Immortal is Dao Immortal. Above Dao Immortal is Golden Immortal. This means that the blue leaf sacred forest is very dangerous. Only earth immortals or earth immortal beasts are active inside. If there are inscription beasts, they might even surpass earth immortals. It is very dangerous. Earth Province is the activity area of earth immortals, Tao immortals, and golden immortals. It is also because of the appearance of the sun-suppressing divine arrow that many immortal kings and immortal emperors came here. Immortal kings and immortal emperors are generally in the Heaven Province. Qin Yun stopped to rest because he is preparing to enter the Blue Sky City. If he is in peak condition, he will be able to deal with all kinds of sudden situations. He contacted Xiao Yuelon on a large mountain. Yuelon, you entered the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest? Qin Yun asked, and we are only active in the outer region. Xiao Yuelon replied, this time I might have to go to the depths of the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. I don't know if there will be an altar inside. Qin Yun also doesn't know why the sun-suppressing divine arrow is bringing him in. Xiao Yuelon asked, Xiao Yun, you and Sister Rujing are both Xian immortal. You should be together. Why is she together with Sister Yu? Qin Yun also has this kind of question. He thought for a moment and replied, maybe their souls are very strong. If all Xian immortals go to the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest, then I might be able to meet Sister Kiru and Father. After Xia Kiru and Qin Long obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow, they said that they want to go to a place to complete a task. The Xian immortal from the Long family who obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow appeared in the Blue Sky City. Maybe he wants to enter the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Therefore, Qin Yun guessed that most of the Xian immortals will enter the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. If that's the case, then that's great. Xiao Yuelon said somewhat excitedly. Xiao Yun, I will go with you. Don't leave me behind and go in by yourself. Got it. I will bring you along. Qin Yun said with a smile. He feels that with the floating cloud pagoda, even if he encounters a very strong danger, he will have a place to take refuge. Furthermore, he wants to go in to find Xia Kiru and Qin Long. After resting, Qin Yun flew towards the Blue Sky City. Not long after, he arrived outside the Blue Sky City. This Blue Sky City also has city walls. Furthermore, there are many huge blue tree trunks. They should be from the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. It is said that the reason why the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest was born is because when the Sun Divine Stone fell, many blue-colored Sun Divine Stones gathered together and landed in this area. The Blue Leaf Sacred Forest covers a large area, and there is also a space inside. Back then, the humans and beasts in this area all benefited greatly. Their cultivation and strength rapidly increased. Especially after their bodies were illuminated by the falling Sun Divine Stone, they have clearly improved. And because the Blue Sky City opened the barrier and blocked many useful blue light, the people in the city missed the opportunity to become stronger, which also caused many people to complain. In order to make up for it, Blue Sky City's Lawn family mobilized many people to enter the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest to cut down trees and surround the entire Blue Sky City with those trees that emit blue light. However, it didn't have any effect at all, and it also caused many people to ridicule them. Because those tree trunks emit blue light, the Lawn family did not open them up. Moreover, this is a pretty good scenery, so they decided to put up with it. After Qin Yun entered the city, he immediately contacted Xiao Yuelon. When Xiao Yuelon found out that Qin Yun is at the West Gate, she immediately rushed over. Not long after, Qin Yun saw Xiao Yuelon. She is wearing a loose gray robe, a white veil covering her face, and her hair is casually tied up. After she saw Qin Yun, her originally ice-cold eyes suddenly became very gentle, filled with deep affection. Xiao Yuelon promptly walked over and pulled Qin Yun's hand. She said with a smile, Xiao Yun, you are also a Xian immortal, but we are still too weak here. Qin Yun looked around and saw several Earth immortals passing by. It's fine, we can quickly become stronger. Xiao Yuelon is actually very optimistic. Then she pulled Qin Yun and walked on the street. Because of the sun's abnormal movement, a large amount of sun's energy has been released over the years. so the people of Immortal Desolate can advance by leaps and bounds. One must know that before, there were not that many immortal kings and immortal emperors. But now, almost every once in a while, there would be news of someone becoming an immortal king or immortal emperor. Especially those big powers, because they have enough power, they can enter some dangerous places to find powerful divine fruits or other resources, so they can quickly cultivate even more immortal kings. I thought Xiaoling and Chu Qian would follow you, Qin Yun said with smile. It's good that they are not here. It's really good, isn't it? Chu Qian is your little wife. And Xiaoling, she is wearing such a fiery outfit. You must like her very much. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun's arm and said with a charming smile, Yuelon, I didn't agree to make Chu Qian my little wife. You agreed. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, he feels that Xiao Yuelon must have been led astray by that rogue elf Yu Xiaoling. Don't you think it's a pity that you don't want her? Chu Qian is from the Shiman family. If not for her this time, we wouldn't have been able to subdue 2 inscription beasts so easily. Xiao Yuelon chuckled and said, what's more, her talent is very good. Now she is a very high position in the Guanghan Palace. What kind of inscription beasts did you subdue? Qin Yun pulled Xiao Yuelon and walked forward. He asked with voice transmission, a very beautiful purple-red peacock and a furry big white bear. Xiao Yuelon looked all around and secretly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun. Then she told Qin Yun many things about the 2 inscription beasts. Qin Yun is secretly amazed when he heard this. Because the big white bear was injured and it is very serious, it is difficult for it to heal, so Yu Xiaoling and Shiman Chu Qian brought it back. Xiao Yuelon plans to stay here to inquire about the inscription beasts, so she didn't go back. Now, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon also want to enter the mysterious blue leaf sacred forest that is as vast as the sea. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are both Xian immortals, and Xian immortals are the strongest in Xian province. In Earth Province, there are Earth Immortals, Tao Immortals, and Golden Immortals, 3 great realms. Among them, Golden Immortals are the strongest. However, Qin Yun didn't see any Tao Immortals or Golden Immortals. He only saw a few Earth Immortals. Chapter 14:16 Bewitching Spell. After the sun-suppressing divine arrows were taken away, a large group of immortal kings and immortal emperors left, and the balance in Earth Province was restored. Otherwise, the usually arrogant Tao Immortals and Golden Immortals would have to continue hiding, not daring to come out. After all, they were worried that they might accidentally encounter some powerful celestial kings. At that time, they might be slapped in the face. Now, as the immortal kings and immortal emperors returned to Tianzhou, the Tao Immortals and Golden Immortals gradually came out. Immortals of different cultivation realms would usually stay in their own areas and would not run to other places to behave atrociously. This was also a custom that had been established in the Immortal Desolate for many years. For example, Earth Immortals, Tao Immortals, and Golden Immortals wouldn't go to Dust Province to oppress Arcane Immortals unless there was a deep grudge between them. Although there would not be any punishment, it would break the balance and cause some people to be dissatisfied. If a powerful Earth Immortal went to Dust Province to kill, then a powerful Immortal King and Immortal Emperor might come from Sky Province for revenge as well. Chaos would ensue if that happened. Yuelon, aren't we going to leave the city and head to the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest? Qin Yun saw Xiao Yuelon strolling around the city and asked in puzzlement, Yeah, but I'm looking for someone. Xiao Yuelon chuckled and said, Someone you're very familiar with. When the time comes, let her bring us to the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. She has been active in this area for a long time. Who is it? I thought the 2 of us went in together. Let's properly enjoy the world of the 2 of us. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Xiao Yun, we're going on an adventure. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. 2-people world. Adventure and romance do not conflict. Qin Yun pinched Xiao Yuelon's face and giggled. Don't worry, our amorous affair will not be disturbed. Xiao Yuelon smiled sweetly, blinked her eyes, and said mysteriously, Guess who I'm going to look for? Qin Yun thought for a moment, then shook his head and said, I can't guess. Xiao Yuelon brought Qin Yun to walk on the street and pointed to a few secret marks on the wall. It is a very ancient method of contact, and it is very troublesome. It can be seen that the person Xiao Yuelon is looking for does not have the magic mirror. Guanghan Palace did not use the magic mirror on a large scale before. This is mainly because Yu Yu was worried that the magic mirror would steal information. Reality proved that her worries were correct. Without a specially refined mirror, the emperor would be able to receive all the messages. After searching for half a day, in the evening, Xiao Yuelon finally brought Qin Yun to a small, dilapidated building. She came to the door of the house and gently knocked on the door. The person who opened the door was a black-robed woman wearing a mask. Qin Yun did not see this woman, but he could feel a very familiar feeling. Especially the fragrance on her body. It was very familiar to him. Aunt, Xiao Yuelon chuckled. Yulan, who is he? That woman asked doubtfully. My husband, Xiao Yuelon said as she pulled Qin Yun inside. After Qin Yun entered, he was alarmed because he knew who the masked woman was. It was Xiao Xianqin. Xiao Xianqin took off her mask. Her fair and beautiful face was filled with doubt. Her frowning eyebrows gave her a different kind of charm. When Qin Yun saw the beautiful and elegant woman again, his heart palpitated for some baffling reason. Xiao Xianqin had experienced danger with him several times, and they met very early on. Later on, Xiao Xianqin awakened her past life's memories and hated him very much. Fortunately, they reconciled in the end. Now, Qin Yun is suffering heavenly punishment, and Xiao Xianqin has not cultivated a sacred tear soul, so she has forgotten about Qin Yun. Yuelon, when did you have a husband? Have I seen him before? Why does he look so familiar? Xiao Xianqin looked at Qin Yun and felt that he looked familiar. Aunt, he is Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Ah, the one who destroyed the sun altar? Xiao Xianqin cried out in alarm. Hello, Aunt Xiao, Qin Yun said with a smile. Hello. Xiao Xianqin also smiled. When Qin Yun heard of Xiao Xianqin before, she was still a moon zither Xian immortal. But now, it seems that she has already surpassed Xian immortal and is an earth immortal. Xiao Yuelon said, Aunt, we are preparing to enter the blue leaf sacred forest. Can you bring us in? Xiao Xianqin nodded and said with a smile, Of course I can. She can't help but look at Qin Yun a few more times, because Qin Yun gives her a very strange feeling. Not only is it a familiar feeling, it also makes her heart beat wildly. She doesn't know why she has this kind of feeling. Xiao Yuelon also noticed the way Xiao Xianqin is looking at Qin Yun. Of course, she knows about the entanglement between Qin Yun and Xiao Xianqin. She giggled from the side, as if she found it very interesting. Yuelon, come with me. I have something to discuss with you. Xiao Xianqin promptly pulled Yuelon to a secret room upstairs. Qin Yun waited in the hall. He is also recalling the various events that happened between him and Xiao Xianqin. The zither martial spirit in Xiao Xianqin's body was something he helped improve back then. Xiao Xianqin pulled Xiao Yuelon to the secret room and said, Yuelon, that Xian immortal from the Long family came to find me. He wanted me to join his team and go to the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest together. Then did you agree? Xiao Yuelon asked. No, because I want to enter the depths of the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Because I didn't agree to his request, the Long family is targeting me everywhere, causing me to be unable to do business here. Xiao Xianqin lightly snorted and said, The Long family is truly tyrannical. Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, Aunt, don't do business anymore. Bring me and Xiao Yun into the depths of the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Xiao Yun is from the inscription Profound Sect. He can casually refine something, and you can exchange it for many immortal jade beads. Yuelon, your husband is a bit strange. I think he used an evil technique. Xiao Xianqin suddenly said with a vigilant expression. Ah, why do you think so? Xiao Yuelon felt that it is very strange. I suspect that he used a bewitching technique or something. It made me, when I saw him, I had a very strange feeling. It's just that I'm tempted by him. I've never had such thoughts toward the man before, but when I saw him just now, I just... A blush suddenly appeared on Xiao Xianqin's mature and beautiful oval face. Xiao Yuelon giggled and then laughed nonstop. Xiao Xianqin became even more bashful from Xiao Yuelon's laughter. She said with slight annoyance, Yuelon, what are you laughing at? That Qin is definitely not a good person. He actually used an evil technique to confuse others. You must have been bewitched by him. He's really bad. Aunt, that's because your heart is budding. Xiao Yuelon is still giggling. You little girl, what nonsense are you spouting? Xiao Xianqin bit her lower lip and scolded with hidden bitterness. Then, she lightly hit Xiao Yuelon's head. You're not allowed to say that about me. My Xiao Yun didn't confuse you. It's more like it if you confuse him. Don't seduce my Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuelon said with a mischievous smile. Damn girl, what are you talking about? We were good sisters in our previous life. I am your good sister, and after reincarnation, I am your aunt. How can you say that about me? It was clearly your Xiao Yun who used a bewitching technique to tease me, and you are still speaking up for him. Xiao Xianqin stomped her feet and pouted coquettishly. Aunt, you'll know in the future. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Hurry up and bring us into the blue leaf sacred forest. Xiao Yun has important things to do inside. Your Xiao Yun is a big scoundrel. I'm not bringing him. Xiao Xianqin sat on a chair and lowered her head. Her mature oval face is still flushed red. I don't want to see him again. Once I see him, he will definitely use an evil technique on me and confuse my mind, making me very embarrassed. Xiao Xianqin trusted Xiao Yuelon very much, so she dared to say anything. Is it because he's too handsome? Then I'll go beat him into a pig's head. Xiao Yuelon said with a serious expression. Let's go, I'll go down now. Look at me beating him into a pig's head. If he really bewitches you, I'll dig out his heart. Don't. Xiao Xianqin immediately pulled Xiao Yuelon because she knew that Xiao Yuelon could do anything. Why? Didn't you say that he's a big scoundrel? Xiao Yuelon curled her lips and said, I just think it's possible, but I don't have any evidence yet. What's more, he is Qin Yun. He is from the Inscription Profound sect. He destroyed that sun altar, and he is also your husband. It's not good to be ruthless before you figure it out. Xiao Xianqin said. Xiao Yuelon said, that won't do. He just used a bewitching technique on you. I want to teach him a lesson. I want to beat him up. He actually dared to do bad things to my beautiful aunt in front of me. Seeing Xiao Yuelon's angry expression, Xiao Xianqin is also somewhat worried that Qin Yun would be beaten up. She said again, Yuelon, don't be in such a hurry to make a move. Wait until I'm sure that he used a bewitching technique on me. Aunt, he has already made you fall in love. Could it be that you still haven't confirmed it? Xiao Yuelon muttered. Xiao Yun is so bad. I want to beat him until he can't get out of bed. Yuelon, don't be too willful. No matter what, he is still from the Inscription Profound sect. Xiao Xianqin clenched her teeth, pulled Xiao Yuelon and persuaded. Don't hit him. Listen to Aunt. Aunt, look at you. Why are you so protective of him? You're still saying it's not a bewitching technique. Xiao Yuelon lightly snorted and said, Xiao Yun is too bad. He immediately hooked away your heart and soul. I want to beat him to death. Xiao Xianqin pulled Xiao Yuelon's hand and pinched her arm. She said with a face full of hidden bitterness, Yuelon, are you deliberately teasing me? I can see it. You husband and wife actually teamed up to bully me. She was very angry, sat down, and waved her hand. She said lightly, quickly go and beat him to death. I won't stop you. All right. Xiao Yuelon took out a saber and very seriously walked out of the secret room. When Xiao Xianqin saw this, she immediately rushed over and said helplessly, Yuelon, you win. Xiao Yuelon smiled tenderly and said, Aunt, Xiao Yun really didn't use a bewitching technique. Don't doubt him, okay? In the future, I'll tell you the reason. Bring us into the blue leaf sacred forest first. Bang! The small building suddenly shook and a loud sound came out. Oh no, the people from the Long family are here. Those guys have Earth Immortals, and Xiao Yun is still down there. Xiao Xianqin is very worried. Her expression suddenly turned ice cold, and she quickly rushed out. Xiao Yuelon is not very worried because she knows that Qin Yun has the sun-suppressing divine arrow and nine-sun divine hammer in his hands. He will not suffer any losses. After Xiao Xianqin and Xiao Yuelon walked down, they saw Qin Yun sitting on a chair. A large group of people stood in front of the broken door. All of them have cold, arrogant, and fierce expressions. Chapter 14:17. Magic Mirror Ancestor. Seeing that Qin Yun is fine, Xiao Xianqin secretly heaved a sigh of relief and shouted to the middle-aged man, Lu Jiayan, when did I deceive you, Magic Mirror sect disciples? It was clearly you who wanted to extort me. The people who came to cause trouble are all Magic Mirror sect disciples. They were also called over by the Long family Xian Immortal. They did not notice Qin Yun because Qin Yun's immortal power aura is very weak. They thought that Qin Yun was a servant or something. The middle-aged man in the lead, Lu Jiayan, walked into the hall and smashed a table with his palm. He roared, We kindly sold you 2 magic mirrors at half price and even gave you 2 days of trial. After you tried it, you were not satisfied and returned it, but the magic mirror was broken. Isn't this what you did? Didn't I say it before? It was the magic mirror's own problem. It has nothing to do with me. Xiao Xianqin said angrily. She already summoned her zither and prepared to fight. That's because young Master Long Ruoheo vouched for you. But now that young Master Long doesn't vouch for you, we naturally have to get it back from you. Lu Jiayan sneered and said, Hurry up and compensate. Those 2 magic mirrors were specially refined by us. The materials used are very precious, and they are also limited in quantity. They are worth a total of 500 million immortal jade beads. Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelon, and Xiao Xianqin immediately understood. Long Ruoheo deliberately let the Magic Mirror sect disciples pressure Xiao Xianqin to make her compromise on some conditions. This is very obvious. Don't even think about it. Xiao Xianqin said angrily. Haha, we have reason to collect the debt. If you don't pay it back, even if we make a move, the Lan family won't care. And if you fight back, the Lan family will capture you. You must know that young Master Long is in the Lan family's villa. Lu Jiayan laughed and sat on a chair. The others also blocked the door, not letting Xiao Xianqin leave. Xiao Xianqin's mature and beautiful jade face is now ice cold. She said coldly, If I kill you, then nothing will happen to me. Lu Jiayan held the magic mirror in his hand and laughed. Come and attack us. Xiao Xianqin, although you are a pretty strong earth immortal, do you really have enough strength to kill us in an instant? What's more, my magic mirror is open. All the conversation here will be transmitted to young Master Long and the Lan family's young city master. Why don't you try? This was the Lan family's territory, and the Lan family had a good relationship with the Long family. Long Ruoheo wanted Xiao Xianqin to lead the way and safely enter the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. This was because Xiao Xianqin had grasped an ability that allowed her to avoid all kinds of dangers and safely enter the depths of the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. Xiao Xianqin rejected Long Ruoheo, so Long Ruoheo used this method to force Xiao Xianqin to compromise. Xiao Yuelon secretly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun about what had happened. We are disciples of the Moon Palace. Does your Magic Mirror sect want to be enemies with the Moon Palace? Xiao Xianqin is currently in Blue Sky City, and he only has Xiao Yuelon by his side. It is impossible for him to resist the Earth Immortals in Blue Sky City. Even the disciples of the Moon Palace have to be reasonable. You destroyed our magic mirror. Hurry up and compensate us. Xiao Xianqin, you are in charge of a lot of business in the Moon Palace. It should be very easy for you to take out 500 million immortal jade beads. Lu Jiayan chuckled and said, As long as you compensate us with 500 million immortal jade beads, we won't cause any more trouble for you, right? Xiao Xianqin was so angry that she gasped for breath a few times, her chest heaving up and down. This is not a problem with the immortal jade beads, but rather she was being blackmailed. The main reason was because of Long Ruoheo's secret instigation. She knew very well that even if she sent away the magic mirror disciples, Long Ruoheo and the Lan family would definitely continue to find reasons to make things difficult for her. Take out the proof that I damaged the magic mirror, and I'll compensate you. Xiao Xianqin is also a very strong woman. It is impossible for her to lower her head to evil forces. Just you wait. I'll contact the elders of our moon palace and send people to fight with you to the end. Xiao Yuelon said coldly. You must know that our moon palace has already obtained 3 sun-suppressing divine arrows. If we were to fight, even if the devil immortal heavenly gate, Xian family, and Long family join hands, they would have to think twice. Ha! Young Master Long already said that whoever obtains the sun-suppressing divine arrow must immediately go and complete one thing. If they don't complete that task, they will die. The people of your moon palace who obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow might not even be able to live. Lu Jiayan laughed loudly. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun both know about this matter, because Qin Yun has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xiao Xianqin, contact the people of your moon palace. You don't have a magic mirror in your hands, right? The people of your moon palace don't use magic mirrors. How are you going to contact them? Use a traditional sound transmission talisman? Can it be transmitted to the moon? Lu Jiayan sneered. Xiao Yuelon glanced at Qin Yun and signaled him to help. Qin Yun coughed dryly and said, Friend of the magic mirror disciple, can you take out those 2 damaged magic mirrors? At least show me where it's broken, right? Who are you? Do you have the right to speak here? Don't tell me you want to be a fool and pay 500 million immortal jade beads for Xiao Xianqin. I don't think you can even take out 50 million. Lu Jiayan looked at Qin Yun contemptuously. I can really take out 500 million immortal jade beads. Qin Yun spoke, took out a core fragment, and said with a smile, This is a core fragment. How many 500 million do you think it's worth? Seeing that Qin Yun can easily take out the core fragment, the corner of Lu Jiayan's eyebrows twitched. He immediately took out 2 magic mirrors and handed them over to Qin Yun. He said with a sneer, Take a good look. Brother, let me advise you, don't expect to be able to flirt with the women of Moon Palace like this. They are all very difficult to pursue. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. He looked at the 2 magic mirrors and found that they are indeed damaged. The runes inside have been maliciously cut off. He poured in blood soul power and quickly repaired the broken runes. Moreover, he reinforced and hid them. If he wants to destroy these 2 magic mirrors again, he must first destroy them. It's not damaged. Qin Yun looked at it for a while and said, Did you make a mistake? After speaking, he lit up the 2 magic mirrors and checked all kinds of information on them. Xiao Xianqin is secretly alarmed. Previously, Lu Jiayan had come over once and said that she had broken the magic mirror. At that time, she had carefully inspected it and was indeed unable to light it up. However, after Qin Yun casually touched it a few times, it was actually fine. Lu Jiayan's expression looks like he has seen a ghost. Those few large men's faces are also filled with astonishment. Back then they worked together for a very long time to break the runes inside the magic mirror. Moreover, it was very difficult for anyone to discover it. But now, it is inexplicably fine. If the magic mirror is damaged, only the upper echelons of the magic mirror sect can repair it. Especially if the runes inside are damaged. Only core inscription masters of the magic mirror sect can repair it. You see, the magic mirror is fine. Qin Yun returned a magic mirror to Lu Jiayan and said with smile, All right, it's fine now. You can all go back. Most of these so-called magic mirror sect disciples are just peddling magic mirrors. They don't have the ability to refine magic mirrors. Therefore, they don't know what happened to the magic mirror. Lu Jiayan took the 2 magic mirrors. His eyes are wide open as he fiddled with them. He is also speechless. Xiao Yuelon said, Don't tell me that your magic mirror sect doesn't plan to be reasonable. Now that the magic mirror is fine, why aren't you leaving? You broke a door and a table. You can leave after you are done. Qin Yun added, I recorded your evil deeds just now. I can post it on the magic mirror at any time and let everyone see the despicable deeds of the magic mirror sect disciples. Lu Jian gritted his teeth, put away the two magic mirrors, and angrily looked at Qin Yun. At this time, Long Ruo Heo contacted him. Young Master Long. There's a problem. Lu Jian did not use mental power to communicate. Instead, he directly said, "Don't be afraid of them. The two magic mirrors you sold are indeed damaged, but they are only temporarily fine. After a period of time, there will definitely be problems again. Let them compensate us first." A cold voice came out from the magic mirror. After Lu Jian put away the magic mirror, he immediately became filled with confidence. He sneered at Qin Yun and said, "You bastard, if you have the guts, post our evil deeds on the magic mirror. The negative news of our magic mirror sect disciples can't even appear on the magic mirror." "Really?" Qin Yun faintly smiled. "Of course it's true." Lu Jian laughed a few times, then looked at Xiao Xianqin and said coldly, "Quickly compensate us with immortal jade beads." Qin Yun took out a magic mirror and posted the process of Lu Jian rushing in and breaking the table and door on the magic mirror. Moreover, he used the nickname Wu Tiantu's godfather to post it. When Xiao Xianqin was so angry that she wanted to attack, Qin Yun suddenly said, "Lu Jian, open a magic mirror and take a look." Lu Jian immediately opened the magic mirror and took a look. A video of him kicking the door and breaking the table immediately popped up. Moreover, it was posted by someone with the nickname Wu Tiantu's godfather. Wu Tiantu is the name of the magic mirror immortal emperor to the public. Not many people know the real name of the magic mirror immortal emperor. What made Lu Jian apprehensive is that the message was posted at the top, angrily denouncing magic mirror disciple Lu Jian's evil deeds, bullying weak women, blackmailing, and so on. At this time, Lu Jian's magic mirror suddenly trembled and displayed the words Sect Master. This caused Lu Jian's body to tremble in fear, and he promptly connected. "I am a magic mirror sect master, Wu Tiantu." "Lu Jian, whose subordinate are you? Are you going to commit suicide, or should I go to Blue Sky City and crush you to death?" Magic mirror immortal emperor's angry voice came through. Others may not know, but he knows that the message was sent by Qin Yun. He also knows that his magic mirror disciple is bullying Guanghan Palace's disciple. Magic mirror immortal emperor is very clear about the relationship between Qin Yun and Guanghan Palace, so he attaches great importance to this matter. This. Sect Master, this is all a misunderstanding. I will immediately apologize to Big Sister Xiao. Lu Jian is scared silly. His voice trembled as he said, "Old man, don't come over. This is really a misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding? Quickly tell me, whose subordinate are you?" Magic mirror immortal emperor furiously shouted. "You bastards! You took advantage of the time I was paying attention to the sun-suppressing divine arrow to do whatever you want. Sect Master, I was truly wrong. It's all my fault. I received benefits from Long Ruo Heo, so I deliberately made things difficult for Big Sister Xiao." Lu Jian is so scared that he promptly knelt down towards Qin Yun. Others also knelt down. They're just small fries. Facing an immortal emperor's anger, they're scared out of their wits. "This uncle, we know we were wrong. Quickly help us put in a few good words, even if you want us to fight Long Ruo Heo with our lives." Lu Jian unceasingly kowtowed towards Qin Yun, shouting, "I ran into some trouble in Earth State's Blue Sky City." Qin Yun said, "I will immediately contact Blue Sky City's Magic Mirror Supervisor to help you." Magic Mirror Immortal Emperor promptly said, "You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.